Hello? Good afternoon, sir. I can't hear you. Your mic is muted, sir.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you, sir. Good afternoon.
Like Dubai likes
Zoom.
Zoom, but
Yes, yes.
it's
I think that's basically what's been used for schools, offices. So I guess that's why they allowed it.
oh, I see. That's cool. Welcome to this
Thank you, sir.
afternoon session. Um, so guys, from all over the world that you're watching us, our next guest is Jim Mike, and he's going to be speaking on building a personal brand, right? So a lot of us, do not know how powerful building is. Someone said people don't buy products, they buy individual. And we're streaming this live from all over the world, and we're streaming across Instagram, Facebook, and of course Twitter. That's Periscope. And so you're all welcome as you're joining us from all over the world. We'd like you to tell us your name, your city. Your name, your city, your name, your city.
Yes,
Ejiro,
sir.
you too, you want to start for you has,
One,
yeah, one of the major um, coordinator of the event. Has it been the event so far?
it's been good, sir. All the facilitators have been amazing. They've really given us, like, they've poured out to us all from, all the sessions from Pastor Lumide yesterday, telling us some secrets about money, to taking it to another dimension, like having body mind. I've never heard that before.
Yeah, me too.
The eyes of the needle was really fantastic. So, and I particularly love the way he answered the question when somebody said he didn't agree with him. Like, I don't need you to agree with me. That was really amazing.
Yeah, but,
Yes, and even the
that is just a major issue, you know. Okay, that's just a major issue. A lot of time people feel that on social media they just have some rights to come talk like they are experts. But what we fail to realize is that if you're the expert, guest speaker, I personally oftentimes ask people, I don't understand why, some of us feel that we have to air our own opinion on other people's
opinion.
platform. The new era is a new social media thing that people do, but it doesn't make sense to me
Yeah.
it doesn't make sense to me at all why that is a culture. It's a new culture, but I love the way he answered it. It's probably the way I would have
Yeah.
answered. Maybe I would have been a bit tougher,
Yeah.
because I just get a lot irritated by, people coming on social media and just feeling, if you have an opinion, start your
It
own,
on your own,
go ahead,
exactly.
your own
I
platform. I
think
mean, it's a free.
people just forget, like they forget that even though it is online, it is
Yeah,
also humans they are talking to. So imagine, I don't know if they imagine themselves like, if I were in the same room with this person, would I be asking this question like this, or would I be saying the same thing
exactly.
like this? So
Will I be this
I
rude?
guess people
Will I
just
be
forget.
this rude approach? Will I even be this rude in my approach? Sometimes it's not even about disagreeing with people. It's about the approach of the disagreement. There's a way to put things. There are ways to use words.
Yeah, exactly.
In a way.
Hmm.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Because I mean, like the thing is, it could have been a question, and he could have
Yeah.
rephrased it if it was a question. right? Because sometimes what people forget is texting and talking is not the same thing. I could text you and say, okay. And my okay, if I were with you, you would know if I'm saying okay, it's okay. Or
and the okay can mean
okay. So no, I think
guys, for those of you just joined us, we're just doing a review while we're waiting for our guests of the day one and of course day two so far. And a big thank you to all our amazing speakers. So let me give you line up. I think Ejiro Network is misbehaving like that. Even Ejiro is joining us from Dubai, actually.
Slow.
Your network.
Okay, let me
I've told you, I don't believe you has been misbehaving like you are not. I've been disappointed.
I know. I'll see if I can join with my phone.
I'm using a Nigerian network. They ain't doing bad that much. Guys, let me give you a breakdown of what's coming up. So we're having Jamaica right now coming up, Mike session. We'll have the concluding part of competition for those who are to win 1 million naira to support their small businesses. And then after the pitch 1 hour session, the pitch competition, we're going to be hosting Ebuka and Ichebe, amazing guy. After that, we're then going to be having the group managing director of Heritage Bank, TLC, who will also be joining us to share. His session is going to be focused on teaching a few things about SMEs. Okay, his session is going to be focused on SMEs. So we are then going to be having him is going to be sharing a few things for SMEs, as well as relating to ideas, how to scale up your ideas and SME. So I think he has a strong passion for SMEs, and I love that anyway. So we are going to be having a great time, guys. Don't go anywhere. Remember, we still have some giveaway. We have an amazing people who had access to some giveaway yesterday. It was really cool. Really cool giveaway. Won 10,000 naira in the giveaway. Chooks eBay won 10,000 naira. Olua Sheyi Latif won 10,000 naira. Lawa Azizat won 10,000 naira. Today again, we're giving, I think, another 15 people 10,000 naira, courtesy Junido. So all you need to do is, if you are on the Zoom platform, invite people. The top people who have the highest invite will get that. Also, if you're watching us on Facebook, on Instagram, on Periscope, across all the various platforms we're streaming, just share this video 50 to 100 times across WhatsApp group, LinkedIn group, different groups you belong to. The rule again, the persons with the highest share will win 10,000. So we're picking about 15 people. So don't miss the giveaway. So keep sharing, keep inviting people, get everybody, to join, and let's have everybody in here. Again, I would like who is following up with Jim Ike. I hope, okay. So let's have him here. Some people are also complaining about the ID. So I have somebody here, Eldman. asking for, she said, meeting ID, please. Okay, it's still showing meeting ID.
Yes.
All right,
I
so
don't know. Registering has been a hassle. I don't know why. I don't know if it's the way it's set up, but
show you. Okay. I told my media team, they were arguing with me, there's no need for meeting IDs when you are doing meeting. Well, people are going to the website, upgrade some, fill it in, and it's asking them for meeting ID. Okay.
I mean, with the meeting ID, they could join, but they could join with the link as well. It's just that I don't know why when you're registering, it just gives you some sort of error when registering. I don't know why that is.
Okay, whatever it is, give us, J-Mike is on board. Can you upload him? So let's get him up.
J-Mike is here.
Yeah, one and only J-Mike.
One and only.
Any other J-Mike
is a counterfeit.
I think it's over 20 years now that, you know, we all started having J-Mike on movies. And
I mean, he's one of the highest paid actors in Nigeria. So
I think it was the definition of tall, dark, and handsome. I don't know about now because I don't follow Nollywood now. I mean, I've been busy, so I don't even have the time. But then I know the definition.
Best actor.
I mean, plenty accolades. But he was like the
best man in Nigeria.
Yeah, he was. Okay. I don't know whether you're here, J-Mike. Kindly put up your audio and your
his
visual.
mic is still... Yay, I see him. Switch off your video. Wanna see your face?
Hey, J-Mike in the building. My own question is, before you go into teaching us on your topic, what has been the secret of your, looking so young? Like, is the same J-Mike as 20? So, I'm boy, ever fresh, ever cool. What's the secret?
I will tell you something for real, sir. We could use all the compliment coming from anywhere. The situation that's going on. Trust me, the miles and journey somehow has told on all of us one way or the other. But we trust you regardless. We're happy for life. We're grateful that given this recent climate of things globally, that we're here. So I'm just grateful. I think gratitude more than anything else, it can keep anybody going longer than necessary.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you so much for joining us. So I'll allow you to go ahead. You can share your topic for about 30 minutes, then we'll take questions. Mind you, we're streaming on 10 different platforms: Instagram, Periscope, Facebook. So we will just be, so you are not only having questions from those here on Zoom, we have questions from, so myself and Ejiro will take time to then read them out across all those various platforms. Yes, so take it away.
All right. Well, the topic basically is how to maximize your brand, promote yourself audaciously across whatever opportunity or board or value chain that you have before you. The best way to tell a story, I still believe the best analogy, it's from your personal experiences. Having said that, I've always lived a certain life that sees the world in a certain lopsided fashion, if you will. I refuse to abide by the norm. It's not, I know if people will start saying that I've come with my rebellious theories again, but seriously, all my life, I think the strongest point I've made is to find ways to stand out in the crowd. That more than anything else edifies your standards, edifies your pursuits, your mission, your vision, consequently, and in a way upholds your principles and morals. I woke up and didn't decide that this was how I was going to live. I didn't decide that I didn't have it all thought through, as we all know. Some of you that and that followed my story from day one. I learned by trial and error along the way. I learned by making mistakes. I learned by having enough failures in my life. I learned by the disappointments I've had to face, the loopholes, the potholes, the heartbreaking, heart-wrenching no's that I've had to receive from people I looked up to. But in every strata of that journey, believe me, it was somehow became the tool that I needed for my coping mechanisms, for my survival theories, and consequently, I found ways to thrive, given the face of the odds that I had to face. I keep saying that the biggest situation we have right now is up here. It's all about the power of the mind, the power of the subconscious. It is what you feed it. It is what you allow in your space that consequently recreates the world that you want. And self-conviction, building a brand, moving forward to say no to all the right opportunities, moving forward to say yes to the ones that will ensure longevity, not only in your lifestyle, but also in your career. It's all brought about by understanding who you are, by the power of self-realization. I understood what worked for me later in my life. I dare say in my late 20s, early 30s. I understood that I was not an extrovert. I understood that I was not that kind of people's person. I didn't understand what it meant to be in a crowd. I understood that my social battery was extremely low. And it, in a way, started giving me different versions of life. The immediate thing that was thrown at me was I may not be politically correct enough to fit into the mode of things. But I refused to let that down to me. I just knew that more than anything else, individuality and flair, trust me, is what stands you out. Every time you're on a pursuit, anything you do in life and it lacks individuality and flair, and you're not in your comfort zone, you're not in your element, at the end of the day, you're just an acquired taste and you will struggle. And that is how I've always viewed this to be. It has set my journey slightly different from others. I thrived many times to fit into what everyone would consider the mode, the popular mode, the click system, the so-called pedigree, they're trying to be in the right circles all the time, answer to the right people, align with the right people. And at the end of the day, it just didn't work for me. In hindsight, I wish that I knew better who I was in order to approach my goals in life. So that is what I advise firsthand. The first hand is understanding who you are. Your power lies therein, understanding who you are. Once you understand who you are, you understand what to say yes to, you understand what to say no to. And no matter how good something looks in the face of it, no matter how good it looks on paper, you understand that saying no to that opportunity might just set the precedent for your next huge yes. And so that is one thing that I've always advised people that are coming on board this thing called branding, self-branding. A lot of times people go around looking at the world in a view that has been programmed from day one for them. You see, everything in this world right now is about programming. The weapon, what I like to term as the weapon of mass distraction. You see, when you're constantly sitting down and listening to the media, when you're constantly sitting down to look at the circumstances around you, obviously, it's not a great retool for success. But I keep saying that the greatest retool for success is failure. It's not success, it's failure. The more you fail, the better you understand your journey, your pattern, your destiny, and then the way you can fashion it for your life. Every time I succeeded in a series, I always end up feeling that's hugely, you know. But every time I recorded back-to-back failures or back-to-back disappointments in life, I sort of understood what was coming. I understood that the next thing was going to be extremely huge, was going to be differential in a sense. So as soon as I put my finger firmly on the pulse of my pattern, I understood that paranoia was not an option anymore. Fear was far less a concern as I went, because I would go out on a limb, invest in a business totally by emotion, driven by emotion. I will not do my research properly. I won't do due diligence. Maybe because the business was pitched by someone I liked a lot, a friend, a family member, someone that I trusted or looked up to for some reason. And I wanted to please greatly. I've been in that space, yes. It's not always the reverse situation when you pitch to someone that is better off in life than you are. Many times people come and they give you this opportunity to come on board some big entity that they had created, and you want to be part of the bandwagon. You want to be part of the politically correct cliques, so to speak. So you jump on board purely driven by emotion, and at the end of the day it will fail. And when it fails, these guys have the huge financial capacity and wealth to absorb that failure, while you don't, and you won't go back and start asking for a redress of a situation that happened in the consensus, that happened purely out of your choice and decision. So you weather it alone. And so when I weathered, I came to understand that, pleasing a mentor is not the way forward, especially for me. And many times when I'm approached to make a movie, that my better sense, the higher standard of me will look at it and understand that I should not make this movie for obvious reasons. The money is great, the quality, for lack of a better term, excuse my friend, is shitty. But I'll go ahead and do it anyways because I wanted to, because it had the right cast of actors, or because it was from a director I looked up to, or there was always some whimsical, reason to do it that did not in any way align with my purpose and my vision for myself. I'll end up doing it, and then I'll regret it much later when it comes out, because I'm like, this is not the quality of work I should be churning out now. Given the current climate of life and the current ecosystem, the minutest thing you do can be seen by the right person, and it just won't do anything to go about doing, these mediocre, endeavors. So I had to understand who I was. I had to understand, first of all, how to reshape my immediate reality. My immediate reality were people that I started from day one up until the point where I knew that something drastic had to be done. These were people that were loyal to me. These were people that speak in my ear. These are people that confirm my opinion. These are people that program my psyche every day. There were 6 and 7 of them. I wake up every day, and these are the first people I see, and the last people I sleep when I see before I go to bed. So you can understand that within that space, everything they do and say affects your person. So it was easy to understand why certain things succeeded and certain things failed in my life. It's all about your relationship. Your relationship, trust me, consecrates around your destiny. There's something in psychiatry presently called relationship illness. Yeah, it is a strong and present danger. It's potent in our life, and if it's not properly handled, trust me, it has a way of mitigating your journey at the end of the day. Now, what does it entail? It entails people around you that constantly butcher negative thoughts in your head.
Into your head.
Yes, into your psyche. There are people that no matter how well intentioned they are, their speak is generally not good for your mind,
you.
it's not good for your psyche, for your view of life. And so don't forget that we're already dealing with a lot. It is said that 80% of our self-thoughts, our self-speak is already in the negative, and it usually goes undetected by the subconscious mind. So here you are dealing with 85% of self-talk alone, of programming around you alone, that's already geared to the negative. And then the rest of the 15% that you're supposed to survive and consequently thrive with already consecrates around your immediate relationship, your husband, your wife, your kids, your whoever it is that's around you, that speaks into your spirit, that speaks into your psyche. That is where you can begin your tailoring from. Because when I came to that realization, I went back inside, I looked carefully at the history of the people I've been with, and they are great people. But again, these are people that constantly project their fears to me. Goals they could not achieve for themselves, visions they could not see for themselves, things they could not do for themselves. They will constantly tell me, listen, don't do it. That's too much risk. I mean, you're safe right now. You're comfortable. The pace is right. Let's just keep going. And I'll take their word for it. I mean, it came from managers. It came from mentors. It came from brothers and sisters, and people that I looked up to generally. And so I decided that this 15% that was left before I start dealing with the 85% that's out there has to be dealt with. Again, I believe there's an African proverb that says that if you deal with the enemy within, there can't be an enemy outside. I mean, of course, I'm coining it terribly, but something along those lines. Invariably saying that when you deal with whatever it is that is the loopholes in your life, it's always a situation of inside out as opposed to outside in. You deal with the situations you have inside, the situations outside will be inconsequential. And it's really that simple. So I went on a firing spree. I fired everybody around me, the so-called circle, the cliques, the people around me, and I stopped hanging out in spaces that they took me to that again somehow butchered my psyche in the negative, And I picked up a habit that an old habit that my father has always imbibed in me, which is reading. I remember when I was barely 8, 9, he would leave a newspaper with me, show me, write-ups on the paper, and then tell me as soon as he gets back from work, he will need a full account of what transpired in the paper. While I couldn't get the full stretch intellectually of what was going on, I had the presence of mind to go and ask questions from older guys. Remember then there was no internet, there was no research tools whatsoever. So I would go out. It forced me to engage people. It forced me to seek high opinion. It forced me to seek superior intellect all the time. And then when it was explained to me, even if I didn't get the gist of it or the crux of the matter, it was left to me to explain to the man when he got home what it was about. So it forged a certain habit in me. And that also comes to the conviction that your blueprint is everything. How you start is everything. Your programming from day one is everything. What you endeavor to teach your kids will never grow old, will never grow out of play, will always be used later in life as a tool, for advancement. And so that was basically what I went back to do. I started seeking out books, bios, resources on YouTube and any medium, any window I could get, and went about the business of redressing my mind, of programming my psychic, making me understand the reason, the passion why I started this in the first place, and made me understand as well what my end game was going to be. And I also understood I came into my power, my full realization in a point, the dawn of my potentiality at that time, because these guys around me, while again I say that what they were doing was their best intention, but they somehow compromised my power as well. They compromised my power in every way. I was someone that had self-taught myself to believe that I could achieve and be anything I set my mind on. And to come to the middle of my journey, I'm hanging with these guys, and then they started believing that there are limits to life. There are risks that should not be taken. There are certain positions in life that were meant for certain people with the right last name or the right association by birth, you know? And I believed it. I believe it was my place to be a creative. I didn't think it was my place to be a great entrepreneur. I didn't think it was my place to strive to be friends with a certain class of people. I didn't think it was my place as well to seek out the world, seek out knowledge, and just sit with the best there is to realize my full potential. There's so many things they didn't think that was my place to achieve. And as soon as I got rid of those people, I set a life goal. I set my lifelong pursuit. And I dare say within 2-3 years, I was reaching every goal that I set, including going back to school and getting my master's, creating a business, consortium that I could bring a whole bunch of people together called Jasad. We're an investment group. We're in the middle of chasing World Ventures to bring it to Nigeria at that time, and they gave me totally impossible, rules and regulations. And at some point, I felt that, okay, because I didn't have the finances to make it happen, I didn't want to go to a bank to collaborate with them to bring it. It was a very dark, prolonged experience in my life. And the people that I listened to, namely these guys, kept telling me that, what is the whole point of creating these things? Why are you trying to do this? It's just going to drain you. No, leave it alone. But along the way, as soon as I removed that out of my way, I understood better who I was and understood what I was striving for. Things changed drastically for the better. So in a nutshell, building yourself, first of all, building your structure, understanding your person, setting life goals, not realistic life goals that set you out of your element, life goals that make you totally uncomfortable. You cannot be great except you strive to do the uncomfortable. You cannot do anything in the orthodox, something that is totally conventional and comes easy to you, and you cross the line. You will stay within the boundary of, being totally mundane. For you to strive to do something extraordinary, you have to do something that's totally uncomfortable. Something that makes you so uncomfortable within the circumstances and climate that you find yourself in, it is totally unattainable. Then you know that your finger is on the pulse of something different, something that's life-changing, something that will obviously exchange your stride in life. And so I've always tried to do something. And then another thing I preach, and I keep reiterating till I think I'm sounding like a broken record right now, is this takes far more daring than the norm. What is far more daring is being able to accomplish a lot under the radar. Believe me, it sets a different tone. You garb a different texture on that terrain. You move without being seen. I'm not saying that you're doing this because of fear of criticism. I'm not saying you're doing this because you're paranoid of your self-convictions or a lack of security in yourself. No, I'm saying that you move swiftly, you move better when you're undetected. Being constantly detected, being constantly in the face of the public, being constantly judged by the court of public opinion is distracting. You cannot move forward. You cannot move better if you constantly place yourself in a position where you seek the opinion of others. The greatest opinions you value is, first of all, not the mentor, it's yourself. The power of self-realization, self-conviction is everything. The greatest, I think the greatest element in your life you must strive to hone more than every other thing in your life is your instincts. People talk about the Jay-Z's, the Elon Musk, the Mark Zuckerberg, the greats out there, the Jeff Bezos. These men were totally Michael Jackson. So let me come down to my immediate Nietzsche. And all the greats, people that have written their names on the sands of time that cannot be erased, come what may, come what generation. One singular thing, binds all of them together as a community, and that thing is the power of self, the power of self-realization, the power of conviction, the fact that this man strive to do something against the opinion of people they valued most around them. They understood all the no's around them to be the power of yes. They understood that at some point in your life, you have to strive to do something alone. There's always that point. Once you come to that cups, once you come to that Rubicon where you understand totally that it is not rest on you. Like Jay-Z said it, you can only be right once. Once. There's no such thing as second guessing. There's no such thing. That comes later in life when you're already on that path. Because there will be many times when you question your journey, you question even your sanity, and then you question a lot of things. But at the point where you start, where that decision has to be made to embark on a lifelong pursuit and decide that against all odds, I don't care if a maker is making $1 million a week, this is what I'm going to do. I don't care if Kunle, on the other hand, has been giving grants and his life is all sorted and it looks like it's far ahead of me. This is what I'm going to do. Now, I don't care if my father is saying I'm a loafer, that I'm a loser, and your girlfriend has left you. It's part of the sacrifice, the prices you have to pay for, for your dreams and your vision. This is what I want to do. I'm not saying this totally out of textbook theories. I'm not doing this. I'm not saying this because I believe that when you come together and patch together a few clever words, you reach the crux of the matter many times. I'm saying this born out of personal experience. There's no question I'll be asked at this point in my life. There's nothing I've said earlier in my life that I've not experienced personally for myself and failed woefully, and I continue to. But the difference now that I've understood the power of failure more than anything else, it doesn't daunt me anymore. I've come to understand it for what it is. It's placed very firmly my limitations as well. It's come to, because there will be a time, if you succeed continually in your life, there will be a time when you begin to think you're Superman. There'll be a time when you begin to think that you're immortal. There's a time, it usually happens very early in your life. The root shock that hits you like a sledgehammer in the head usually doesn't come in really well-packaged experiences in life. Something will hit you. It's inevitable. And when it does, it sets the tune, it rebrands you. It resets your head. Let me use some of our local lingo. The knock will reset your head for you. And then the path that you follow, after that is the path of self-realization. It's the path that you embrace the entirety of who you are. You become comfortable in your own skin. And then you strive to achieve, no matter the odds. Odds become a welcome challenge. Every time I want to create something, there's something that we just created. It's called Back Comment. I remember when we started the movie and the initial budget came to me, it exceeded what I planned. And I told myself at this point in my life, am I ready to take a risk this big? The story is vastly different at every point in your life. While I've taken monumental risk in the past and failed and got up grinning, that cowboy propensity just wouldn't sit at this present state of my life. I had no kids. I have kids right now. I have a responsibility. I have a family to look after. It's not just about giving them the best quality of life. It's about the next 20 years of college. Have you thought it through? Because whatever choices and decisions you take now, you might think it's nothing. It will affect, maybe 15, 20 years down the line when they're set to go to a certain kind of college that I know we don't pray for it, knock on wood. As a matter of fact, this is where the African in me comes into full-fledged. But say they need a little support to get into that Ivy College. And then, how have you prepared? What kind of life have you prepared for them? And even way beyond that, and as I look at myself like a man that, is responsible for so many other lives. I mean, you become a leader in a sense, and then you wake up one day and you realize it's not just about you. So these were all very strong issues that were weighing strongly on my mind. And what I needed to do was simply to remind myself that I came this far. And given what I've been through in life to come this far, I mean, the question of self-doubt and fear should not come in play anymore. That was all I needed. It was a moment as well, and a dawning moment for me to understand that. I mean, I left. I'm the guy that took some money from my mom's purse and came to chase a dream. I had nothing else to chase with. I just took 2,600 naira and went to Lagos.
Wow. Wow.
And my dad sat me down 2 days before then. The power, I had this conversation with my older one, by the way. He sat me down and he said, my dad is my best friend. I happen to be an only son with 6 women. If you know the history of the Igbo parent, the man is the daughter, is the son, he is a child in a sense. Our bond is quite strong. So the man said, listen, all his life, they start this. I told him he did everything to emotional blackmail me, but my heart was too strong. I remember my dad saying, listen, all his life is worked so that I can get a better quality of life. That I wasn't born with the last name that ensures the future. He said it very clearly to me. And he said, but I was born, I was given a son that is a dreamer. It's extremely intelligent and it's a go-getter. That enough supersedes a last name or whatever that can be given, that can be bequeathed to a son. So my part in play is to make sure that along your journey, every step you take, that I'm there for you until you can stand. And if you force me out, you're going to find out the world is the harshest. I'm telling you, he said it, my dad very eloquent when he wants to mess with your head. So when he laid out the tracks for me, I don't know where I got the power to define. I don't know. There was an inner strength. There was a conviction that I didn't understand then. There was a practice, believe me, that was already in tune then, that I came to understand it better and later in my life. But then that was the power of self-realization. You know what it means to defy your African parent, to defy somebody that hold very strongly your decisions. This is the man that I looked up to. This is the pure example of a hero to me. And I didn't have the support anymore. And I told myself I was going to leave. I'd done the right thing. At barely 19, I have my degree. So I'm going to leave and just try this thing out. And if nothing happens by the time I'm 22, I'm still young, I'll come back and I'll chase the master's and the PhD consequently and live these people's dream. But what kind of person will I be 15, 20 years down the line? I wake up and I say, what if? I will never be the person that will deal with the what if. No, and then that was the only decision I took, trust me. So I borrowed some money from my mom's purse, got into a bus, and I came to Lagos to chase my dreams. And they washed their hands totally from my existence, So what I went through in that time, trust me, totally set the tune for my later convictions, principles, and perspective of life, To surmount that, when you surmount that and you come out, it becomes totally, totally clear that you're master of your own device, you're master of your thought processes, you're master of your destiny if you speak the right words, if you walk the right way, and then you abide by the rules and regulations and think outside the box as constantly as you can, you will be all right.
Awesome.
Wow.
Mike, everybody just, I can see a lot of people typing awesome, Jim. Well said. You got a lot of fans all over the world, people really appreciating, sharing this with everyone. I would like you guys at this point, you can start typing your questions if you have any question for Jemai. Please feel free to start and type. Yeah. So I want to start with, at what point did you begin to monetize your brand? I know you're into fashion, you're into a couple of things, and you are among the early set of your generation. Many of your colleagues became totally broke, famous but broke. So you were among the few who started, saying, hey, brand to start a business. I could use this personal brand to start something. At what point did you move into that? And how has that gone?
We came at some point, like I said, there was a need to build the BTS, which is the backstory, in order to understand the present life that I think I've come to live. First of all, I had to understand the power limitations of the space I was given, the platform I was given. The platform is Nollywood. You must understand, first of all, the gift that you've been given. There's something like overusing the gift. There's something also called, it's also called, I just came to a point in my life, this is the proper knowledge. I came to a point in my life and understood it simply that I'm a man at that point that could not afford the luxury of illusion. Illusion is when you think you are in a career that will set you up for life. Something big will appear out of the blue one day and set you up for life. And all of a sudden you become financially independent. That is the luxury a lot of people went with in pursuit of this dream that ended up badly. My reality was simple. As much as I proved myself to all and sundry that I belonged here, the realization also that within this time, I could not achieve the financial capacity that I strived for, except I went out to get outside help. The outside help is that my parents have always come from merchants, trading background. I'm an Igbo man. The rest is goes without telling. That there's enough background to go back to say, I'm doing this, I enjoy it. This is my end goal. This is where it's going inevitably. I know I would attain it. But for the meantime, this is also who I am. I was born into this principle. I was born into this world. I was born into a life of business. So I had to take that and see how I can recreate it to fit my immediate reality. Understand this, because of who you already are, you don't chase things as hard as others. It's a blessing more than anything else. You can knock on so many doors and to be open to you as opposed to people that have to strive and struggle from the beginning. It is a power that you must understand. Okay, the power that you already have. So that was what we did. We launched that into what I termed as my passion. I asked myself, how can I create many other baskets as I go along? And it was simple, my immediate passion. You must fit into the mode of your passion. It's not about what you teach yourself. It's not about what you go out to acquire as knowledge. It's about what comes naturally to you. Okay, from age 5, I've always had a flair for fashion, a flair for style, a flair for, being slightly out of the common mode. And funny enough, what played foremost in my mind, I recall every time it's a Sunday, my mom always found a way to flog me because I was the last to appear for church. I would go out, I would not wear what they want me to wear. I want to dress myself. I want to look a certain way. My mom's like, you can't wear shorts to church. Just it had to go back and play on my mind that what do I feel passionate about? And I told myself, this is what I'm going to do. Everything that I've spent a lot of money on, everything, and I mean the entirety, the stretch of everything I've spent money on to keep my lifestyle going was going to pay me back. It's that simple. Now, I took inventory of everything I spent a lot of money on. I spent a lot of money on clothes. And I said to myself, every time I go shopping, I'm talking from Louis Vuitton to Zara, I always had a point of
Yeah.
criticism. I always say, I could have done it this way. I could have won it this way. Why don't I start my brand? It's really that simple. I had a following to feed into. I already had a platform. I already had a presence. I could sell my product to. So it was simple. What do I like? I like my shirts a certain way. I like my suit a certain way, and I started designing, and that's what birthed. That's what birthed Untamed Closet. But I didn't want to do it like every other person. I wanted to create a closet that is like a home walk-in closet. Everything has to be different. Everything must not be conventional. As it is, you can't jump on the bandwagon. Your presence, once you set it apart from others, that is somehow what informs your uniqueness. That you'll find your niche, you'll find your market for it. So we design. We understood who we're designing for, and we created it. And I went to Istanbul and I spent 2 months. It was a learning process. How much are you willing to pay for your passion? I spent 2 months. Every day I had no other function. I would wake up in the morning, go to the factories, watch what they were doing. I'm talking Ahmed, he became my friend. We're best of friends right now. He's 3rd generation, clothiers. That's what they do in Istanbul. It's a huge family. It was handed down from grandfather to father, then consequently to him. This is an Ivy School educated young man that when he was done, another thing that we should address sometime, when he was done with London, with Europe, the schools of Europe, he went back to Istanbul and took over the family business, brought these new ideas, the cotton age millennial ideas that totally revamped everything. We can start from design to final conclusion on the internet, and you have it delivered to your home. It didn't happen until it came on board. That is what that's the idea. That's how it works. I started with him for 2 months. And after that, I have a friend that runs a shop in New York. Now, this guy is of Togolese descent. He's Togolese American. And I went to intern in his shop. And here's the funny thing, true story. I'll wear this big sky hat and my sunglasses, right? And I was logging in books, selling sweatshirts, doing stuff in the shop. It was off in Manhattan. And then, people would come in there. I remember this lady came in there, was looking at me like, hey, ain't you that African actor? And I'm like, why is everybody talking like that? I would change my accent. I'll do stuff. I worked there for 2 weeks. I mean, it was always like, this is not necessary. You can come in every other day. No. I wanted to see how it worked. I wanted to get into the nitty-gritty of it, hands on deck, understand this full stretch of this business. Everybody is so carried away with the show, they forget the business. It's called show business. Once you create a fine line between both of them, you struggle. So the thing is that, I beg your pardon, you don't struggle. You must create a fine line between them. My struggle mostly is with the show. Believe me, because of my low battery for social engagements and the fact that I viewed from day one, I'm a loner by nature, and I don't mix too well in general population. And it's been tagged all kinds of names, from being aloof to arrogant. But no, you must understand who you are. I just don't play well. I'm like fish out of water in those events. It's not me. I'm more into my element when I'm alone. Everything consecrates around me. The confluence of the elements, it triggers off a certain frequency in me, and I begin to think unlike any other person and create something that's totally different, that is adverse to the status quo, and that's my element. So I took that, said fashion would pay me back even more than I've spent on it. I was going to make millions from it. So we started a brand, brought in investors, and we created Untamed Closet. And that started going. My dad is a civil engineer. My dad has built more homes in Abuja than most men I remember. Trust me, we came to Abuja when, it was probably in its second phase. And then it was just sheer hard work. Yeah. I don't understand what's going on in the government right now, but I knew a man that my dad spent probably 60% of his life on sites. And that's where I grew up. I grew up in that space. I can build an entire house. I don't have architectural training, but I can build an entire house anytime I want it. The few houses I own, trust me, nobody could cheat me on it, because from step one to the end, I built it. And once you're out of stock, out of pocket with all your, I call my dad in to sit there, and it's done. You become project manager, and then the little, it just doesn't work. So I had to understand. Another thing I understood was this kind of business. So I went into it. We went into real estate. My brother-in-law happened to be, well-grounded in that business. And I told him, listen, instead of sitting down there hanging on, let me finance it. Let's form a partnership. I know I'm not going to be on ground all the time, but you on ground. Yeah. I understand the business. I'll chase down the business. You build. You do what you do best. Instead of chasing and building, you do what you do best. I'll chase the business down. And trust me, that door, that collaboration has been one of the greatest blessings of my life. So that was another passion I had to get involved in. Another thing I loved was traveling. I remember when I could barely afford 40,000 naira in my account. I traveled more than any other actor that there is. I kept going. It was my exposure. It was something that was not afforded to me early in life, and I wanted the full stretch of it. It was my education. It was my reason to get out and see new things. It was a nation of cultures, of all the people I've met now that have been a blessing and a curse in my life, all happened on my journeys. It gives your life color. It educates you like nothing else that possibly can. So I traveled. I've been to well over, 50 countries and counting. I keep going, and most of them is not usually for business. I just wanted to go see, understand, make a friend, make a contact, and leave. So that's what I did. And I understood that this industry is going to pay me. So we changed World Ventures, and hopefully World Ventures is the biggest travel agency in the world, brought it to Nigeria, set up our offices in Abuja. And I went back and chased a dear friend of mine that worked in South Africa. He's a white South African. And I told him, dude, listen, instead of working for people, making $20,000 every other month, listen, come co-own this for me, move to Nigeria. Nigeria is the biggest asset right now. It's the new narrative. It's where everybody is going for the new frontier. This is the one moment, So you're either here or you struggle to find a niche much later in life. We're the best traveled people, we're the highest traveled people. We invest like no other person. In Nigeria, we invest millions in you totally out of emotion. And then when it's time for his intellect and his he will not put a dime to you. So it is where everything happens anti-clockwise. And for a man that has discernment, you try to, So I brought him on board.
That's true.
He's not my partner. Full-fledged white guy in Nigeria.
Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead. You were explaining your partner.
Yeah. So and then we did something again. There are some people over time. This happened 2 years ago. There's some people over time that we formed a rather unconventional friendship with. That brings us back to the people around you. When I lost the crowd, the negative speak in my head was turning me upside down. That was bringing all my visions to its knees. I decided to go with a new crowd. Now, my new crowd didn't have to have physical presence in my life all the time, but they spoke to my psyche. Their lifestyle was what I wanted to emulate all the time. The way they tackled the problem, their perspective of life was somewhat different. So I made friends / mentor with a man that became the chairman of 2 of my companies for fair reasons. I can't mention his name here. He's 72. And he's that young at heart guy, 3 divorces, amazing kid. He's lived a life. He lived that life that, trust me, you can only read in books, So he became my friend. He's my best friend. He's like my surrogate dad. He's immensely wealthy, but he's more than that to me. He's a man that I pick up the phone and I can be myself. I can cry if something is hurting me. I can speak to him in a certain way that I may not even be able to speak. My dad will always be shocked if I pick up a phone and I cry, because he raised me a certain way. He raised me to control my emotions. He raised me to be a certain kind of man. And sometimes being that kind of man hurts. And I need to speak to a different kind of man that would take my hurt and not judge. You know, so he represents that in my life. And then when I'm getting out of tune, maybe there's been a recent success, and I want to go out there and show off like every other young, and he calls me toward and say, "What is this? What are you doing? Have you forgotten in the first place the reason those kind of people invested in you? Because you're not ostentatious. It's because you're not an exhibitionist. You lose that trade, you lose that quality, you lose this people, and then you're back to struggling to find business. So what are you trying to do that you can't show restraint at this point? Some of the greatest, we all agree that the people that run this world are behind the scenes. The people that run this world operate under the radar. So if at the highest frequency, the people that run your everyday financial life are not seen and heard, doesn't that in any way tell you that you should manage your affairs privately?
Powerful. Wow. I think you,
because
I don't know why you've not considered that as one of your careers. I think you would go for a motivational speaker. I don't know why you haven't added it. Like, you should be the most
probably working behind the scenes for that.
Exactly, you should be the most after motivational speaker in Nigeria right now. Like, you know, we have so many questions here, so many questions. So I would like if you can have quick answers to them.
Okay.
And others, if you want to ask questions, click the chat button. For those of you also watching across platform, remember you're free to share. If you're able to share this video 50 to 100 times, you get a giveaway, courtesy Genido. So share and invite people. I have somebody, Tola say, I've had a wrong perception of G Mike as a very proud person until this afternoon. I am very impressed as he keeps it real. Okay, well, you know, that's life for you. I mean, showbiz has a way of giving you a part of. Yeah, that's an observation. But I feel that's what showbiz does. And let me add a bit to this. Many of us who become fans of people who are famous do not know that they're also real people. I mean, I've had that experience sometimes. I've had a very tiring day. You know, somebody saw me in New York, there was one at the bank in Baltimore, and the person was shouting, "Oh, Steve Akhtar, I wasn't a good day to join you to do all that." And the assumption will then be that the guy is proud. Imagine this guy I've been seeing on social media.
Yeah.
He says he's teaching people, he's empowering people, only for me to meet him and he's just giving me cold shoulder. So I feel that we shouldn't judge people based on what, you know, because they are human beings after all, and they have their good days and bad days. But the next question is, how has your decision to move into business affected your acting career in your latter years, in the recent years?
The best thing about life is that as you get older and become more uniform with your pursuits in life, you understand that it's not everything that is for you. Okay? There was a time in my life, and trust me, you must go through these years, you must go through this. If you're not at that point, you're not moving. There must be a time where it's about quantity, not quality. You must do everything to show you're the hardest worker in the room. There's no other way to gain attention. It's not only what becomes, it deconstructs the myth, it deconstructs the myth and legends about, you know, having the right pedigree, the right last name or whatever to get you ahead in life. It happens, it works, but that is a question of, it's a function of self-realization. It's a question of self-sacrifice. It sets your work equals for later in life. You must put in that work. There's no second guessing it. There's no circumventing it. You must put in that work. That work is nothing. You see, that work is where you make all the all the bad moves and all the right moves. There was a time I churned out 38 films in 1 year, 38. I'm yet to see that record broken. Yes, I walked myself to a limbo, literally, for lack of a better word. I did. I walked myself to a point I didn't recognize my PA anymore. It was simple. I mean, the idea, the situation was simple. I needed to outwork everybody around me. I needed them to understand. I needed a point of threat for them to understand that I'm not competition. I'm not. The idea is that I will outwork you. Where your talent is bigger than mine, it doesn't matter if your talent is greater than mine. I will outwork you. So that was the point I needed to make at that point in my life, that I'm here not to play with anybody. The sooner I become a threat in your life, the better. And the only way I could make that happen was to understand that I'm a non-stop cyborg when it comes to work. So I took everything and anything and amassed liquid cash. But of course, I had no investment plans or no way to, somehow put that money to good use. It was just amassing in the bank. I had little need personally because it was from one hotel to another. And of course, when you are in every production or any set or any campaign, they practically take care of you. I wasn't spending a lot of my money. I was just amassing money or just amassing numbers and working. So it's imperative you prove to yourself that yes, that you can go toe to toe with the best of them. And then after that, what you establish then is what sets the precedent for later in life for you. Because there's a certain work ethic that you will create early in your life when you have the energy and the prowess to do it, that will set the tone for you later in life. So I don't understand what it means to retire at this point in my life, because I've walked all through my 20s and 30s. I mean, now I don't understand. I will never, there's no point of retirement anymore. And trust me, that's what keeps you afloat. That's what keeps your mind afresh. That's what keeps you looking right, even. Because there's something to wake up to every day. There's a purpose. I don't think, truthfully, yes, I acquire some great things here and there. But say I wake up one day and there's $2 billion in my account, it won't make much of a difference. And I say this very boldly. It will not make much of a difference because some of the lives I really strive to live out of a function of being comfortable. I have lived it. And I lived it not with a great budget, but just by understanding that it's possible. I paid, drastically for investing in that lifestyle early in my life. It was necessary. It's not a thing of wonderment for me anymore. It's not a thing of surprise. It's not a thing to look. I can exercise total restraint and total sacrifice when I pursue a goal, because what possibly can you bring to me that I've not done? My idea, my focus is that goal, because I lived it and I paid the prices for living that life early enough, washed it off my shoulders and moved on. The worst mistake is when you start to live that life later in your life. So that was totally necessary for me. So the hard work is what set the tunes now. I will call these kids in into the office, give them an idea to run with, then micromanage everybody. At some point, they'll be like, boss, now, what? I mean, you told me to do this. I heard you went for that meeting. I say, yeah, but that is me. I don't know how to turn off the pause button. I need to go. So whatever I'm asking you to do, I'm already doing it 2 times over. You have no reason to bring me excuses. No reason whatsoever. So that is so when I engage my young men, my young women, and say, do a task, they run with it. They're ahead of me with it. I've set the bars already extremely high. So they try to get, they use their discretion, they do it, and they make woeful mistakes that I call them in and say, listen, there's no point to beat yourself in. I've been there. I've done it 10 times over. I got punished for it. The people that punished me didn't understand that this was a young man that was trying to impress them and move forward. And all they had to do was create another idea, and then somehow, put in certain punitive measures that, will not devastate my self-confidence as I go. So I called them in and said, listen, you've done this. It's not a fireable offense. A fireable offense is when you actually go to sabotage an initiative. But mistakes are pardonable. It is part of it. If you're not making mistakes, you don't have business working with me. If I'm not recording failures with you, you don't have business working with me because you're not trying hard enough. Obviously, you're playing it too safe. I don't hang with people that play safe. You know, so that is how I think I like to.
Awesome, guys. If you have enjoyed this session with Jim Mike, just say thank you, Jim Mike. Can you just type it across all the various platforms we're watching from? Just type thank you, Jim Mike. Thank you, Jim Mike.
Thank you so much. This was really fantastic. I have one question though before we round off, sir.
Okay.
Yes, because it's loaded day. We still have we're giving away $1 million naira to support some people, so they put in for the competition.
That's amazing, guys.
So some of them are going to, yes, they're going to be coming to pitch their idea. Then we still have the group managing director of Heritage Bank joining us also. So it's a long session that we're having, but we have enjoyed this. And a big thank you for coming to share. I can read, I wish we have time to read, but many people are saying they are hearing this part of you for the first time. You know, I mean, it's that like they are not aware of this Jim Ike. Like, this is the first time everybody's just like, who is this guy? This one, you know. But it's, you know, you want to take your question, we'll wrap up. Yeah. Okay.
So when you were talking at the beginning, you were talking about, you know, so I wanted to ask, how do you do that if these negative voices are the closest people to you? How do you handle that?
I'll tell you something. Taking care, your lifelong pursuit, taking care of you as a person, my dear, you can't give what you don't have. How can you give love when you don't have the power, the function of self-love? How can you be a leader when you don't lead yourself first and put yourself in a position of sacrifice and confidence and security and restraint? You can't say you will change people. I'll tell you something for real. There's some people that are so dogmatically aligned to negative thinking. It came from their viewpoint. It came from where they came from. It came from people they looked up to at first, who raised them, that told them that abusing women in a certain way is normal because they've seen that being done to their sisters and their mom. There are people that their parents feel back to back and didn't have the heart to wake up and they accepted it as a norm. There are people that there's all kinds of blueprints you can't change. You cannot change that person. Taking care of yourself is a full-time job already. The 85% self-negative subconscious thought that is butchered on us by the media and so many other influences around you is enough to deal with without dealing with your inner person. I retrieve the fact that the enemy inside that you deal with consequently takes care of the enemy outside. So you need to get rid of this person. This is the function of total leadership of your life. You have to cut the person off. You can't take care of yourself, reposition your psyche, reprogram your psyche. Don't forget the chief factor is to embed your psyche with as much positive driven message as possible that you access from the internet and every other window that you can get. How in the world are you in the process of doing that and you're still trying to take care of another person's line of reasoning, way of thinking? It's not possible. A structure that is not well built can take more on it. So build yourself first. The only way you can build yourself is cut them off first. Trust me, you're not doing a bad thing. You're trying to survive, right? Trust me, the race for survival for everybody. After you survive, then you begin to thrive. You will always be in the same space in your life if you carry these deadlocks along, because that's really what they are. They project the fears of the unattainable by them on you. If you listen close enough, you may not do something about it, but your subconsciousness is picking it up every minute, every day, and is reprogramming your thought processes and your pursuits in life. So if the first person you listen to is telling you you're a lion and you can do it, and then the last person you listen to is telling you that it's done already, visualize it and execute it. My dear, it's a lot better than the cousin I will call. I recently cut off a cousin. For once, he's a trader. extremely successful in his business. But this is a man I pitched an idea to that is in transition in Dubai as we speak. And he told me, no, he keeps it safe. He says, Naira and Kobo, that I should stop all this playing around. That I'm not a kid anymore. And I told him, well, look at you. I look up to you. He's 52 now. And yes, you're comfortable. But do you know why you never made it in that big league where you can wake up any day in your life and say, I'm just working for the fun of it? You know why you're going to be working well into your 60s? Because of this line of reasoning. I want to do something that I can wake up one day and say, okay, my pursuit in life is not financial anymore. How about just blessing people till I die? How are you going to do it if I listen to that kind of person that every day is telling me to play safe, to stay within the boundaries, never cross the line? No, I need a different kind of thinker. I need people like the people I created in the place that I told you about. There's a business circle that called Jasad. We took our first names and created it. People from different walks of life. 7 of us came together and we said, for the principle of advancement and posterity, we're going to bring to bear everything that we thrive from and put it on the table. If you bring me a deal in oil and gas, I have somebody in my group that will do it, we all benefit. You bring real estate, I have somebody that will do it and we all benefit. You bring entertainment, I would do it, we all benefit. That's how we go now. 7 of us, we've been like that, and it's amazing. Those are the people you need around your life. Every other person for the moves.
Come on. I thought you guys.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Amazing.
We have to bring Jimmy back.
We need to hear of you, Jimmy.
That is this, big speaker. We have to bring you back. This is, hey, this is amazing.
It's fire.
It's amazing.
We need more.
Thank you.
This is amazing. Thank you so much for coming. We love this.
Appreciate it. Thank you for coming.
Yes, I'm going to chat privately. I'm so grateful having you here, and we've been blessed.
Thank you.
God bless you.
Stay safe, everybody. Stay safe. I know these are difficult times. Stay safe.
Yeah, bye-bye. Woo, guys, that was an amazing session, Mike. That was cool. Okay, so let's start having those of you who were participants of the pitch, entrepreneurship pitch competition to start joining us. We have Elizabeth here. Let's pull her up.
Please, can we have Goldie on so that he...
Yes, Golden. Where's Golden? I think I saw there's some names that I remember from yesterday. Sherman is also here. Okay, so you guys, Elizabeth, we'll start with you then, followed by Choma. As we pull you up, thank God we're using Zoom, so we can pull as many of you up, but mute your video and audio until I ask you to go ahead and pitch. Did we handle Ndidi yesterday? Yeah, Ndidi Folashade. Or she's not part of it? Okay.
Then we try to listen to that in black and white.
Okay, so guys, those of you watching us across all over the world, we have this 1 million naira pitch challenge for SMEs, and some of them are going to be coming right now. For 5 minutes, they would pitch their idea, and tomorrow we'll announce the winner, and then next week, Friday, there will be an opportunity to come to this office and collect the grant. It's a grant, you know, it's not a loan, it's totally to help support. They'll also be winning a mentorship with me, worth $5,000. I'll personally see how to do all I can in my power to support their business and see that their business gets to the next level. For me, we must raise entrepreneurs if we want to end unemployment in this country. And the younger we raise them, the better. The earlier they get into it, the better. Most of what I've been sharing, I'm happy that J-Mike reiterated them. One of what he was talking about, hard work, I was still sharing with my people, was it yesterday? I said, look, there has to be a season of your life that you just have to outwork everybody else. It doesn't necessarily mean you will do it for the rest of your life, because life has a way, at some point you are old, you won't even have the energy, even if that's what you wanted. but there's a phase you must outwork everybody. You know, Ejiro, we know that I'm always saying that, you know, I will tell Ejiro I need video every day. She says, yes, sir, let's do once a week. I said, what are you talking about? Every day I need the videos. Every blessed day, give me my videos. You know, so it's important to understand, ladies and gentlemen, that there are seasons to life, and in these seasons, you have to put in everything, okay? And I'm excited about this. So let's go ahead with the first person. Elizabeth, go ahead. 5 minutes, shoot.
Hello, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Elizabeth Oladipo, and I am the founder of 07 Foods. 07 Food is an indigenous company that was established to ensure the sustainable production of agricultural produce, addition of value, sales and distribution of agricultural produce. My main drive was 2019 when my daughter got sick for food poisoning, and I had to spend 2 weeks at the hospital. And as a new mom, that was a very terrible experience. I later realized that it was the adulterated yam flour that I used to produce and prepare amala for her that caused all of this. So I didn't want such to happen to me or to anybody close to me. So I started selling elubo from Oyo State as a normal mom. So after taking out researches, I decided to go full-time into this business. And since we launched in 2019, we've been able to set our products in 18 stores in Lagos. We've also cut across 1,000 tables. We've been able to serve families over 1,000 times. We've also been able to create a mini factory for our business where we can procure NAFDAC and also standardize our products. One of the main problems in our line of business currently is handling. So if we're able to curb that problem of handling in the processing, in the production, as well as the harvest of the yams, if we can reduce or minimize the number of handling we have, we'll have a good and healthy product fit for consumption. To facilitate this, we partner with smallholder farmers, basically for now. Our long-term goal is to have contract farming with these farmers, but we partner with smallholder farmers and reduce post-harvest loss by purchasing directly from our local entities and use this produce and process it into easy-to-prepare packaged products. With the support of this grant, to be able to procure a milling engine and also an automatic sieving machine. This will not only reduce the waste, products loss that we have, but it will also create more jobs for local people in our local community. Thank you.
Fantastic. So please, just similar to yesterday, we asked a few questions
Yes.
before we go on. The first question is, this particular business model, how has it gone? How much profit have you made? Or let's say turnover in the last 3 months in this business?
Okay, so in the last 3 months, we've made profits, like we've made a revenue of 1.8 million naira, and our percentage profit was about 30% of this money. So, but for the first 6 months of starting up, we saved up most of our revenue, we saved up most of the profit so that we can get NAFDAC acquisition and set up our mini factory. This is because we don't want to enter the market with unhealthy produce and all of that. We are not ordinary. We want to be different, and we're taking this product into the market and also creating a platform for growth.
So do you have NAFDAC number now?
Yes, we have NAFDAC, and this is our product.
What do you need? Can I see it again? What do you need? Let me see the product again.
This is the product. This is our 2 kg pack, and this is our 1 kg pack.
Elubo Dudu, nice one.
Thank you, sir.
So, what do you want to do with this money?
We want to procure.
Right.
Sorry, I didn't. And do we sell what? I didn't get the last question.
Sell it online. Do you sell it online, and where?
Yes. Yes, we sell our products online. In fact, we have a chain of mini resellers online. We create a platform for women who are stay-at-home moms and would like to make extra income. So we also do affiliate marketing. You refer people, you don't need to even have the products, and you make money while you're at home. We need a milling engine. If we get a milling engine, we spend 5,000 naira grinding 1 bag of igodo from the farm in Oyo State. If we are grinding 10 bags, that's say 50,000 naira, and we are bringing this to Lagos plus transportation costs. If we're able to get a milling engine, we are saving cost on production. We are also minimizing the number of like macronutrients that come into this product in the process of grinding from outsiders.
Fantastic. What is the risk of your business right now? What's the risk in the business?
The major risk in this business is storage. Storage is not like, okay, yes, storage. When I say storage, I mean, say we want to stock 5 bags or want to stock 100 bags at this period of time. If we stock them in the form of the steak, it stays longer. But if we grind it and we stock in bags, we remember that this blending, the powder comes out hot from the blender and is taken into the bags. This builds in macronutrients, if not spread out in time. And for how long? And we're taking into consideration the health of people. This is the reason why we need this milling engine. So we'll do our work and we know, okay, at this time frame, this is what we want to produce. This is who we're going to serve. And with intensified marketing strategies, we'll be able to cut across more people and don't require to stock bags for as long as would not be good for people's health.
Okay, what's your competitive advantage? What makes this particular product unique? I think you are building a lot of fans on social media. People are saying great pitch, fabulous. Or did you bring all your family members to come and watch? By the way, we have told all of you who are pitching, you are free to invite your family members, your loved ones. Let them come and cheer you up. It's part of it. You need it. It's important. But go ahead. Yes.
My major competitors, I'm not looking at the likes of Ayola and others as my major competitors. My major competitors are the general market. Take a look at the market women. Take a look at people that use alum to mix their elubo. Take a look at when my child fell sick and I spent 2 weeks in the hospital due to the negligence of somebody and someone wants to make profit. So those are my target markets. And unlike the general market, I ensure that the processing of...
So what's your competitive advantage? What's your competitive advantage, your strength?
Yes, unlike the general market, our products are processed directly from the farm. We ensure that standardization of product goes through this, and we have a pricing model that is fantastic. We have mixed marketing, and our marketing model is awesome, amazing, I tell you. And people without our products even make money without having our products on ground.
Okay, good job. Nice one. Do you sell online? I asked that. I'm not sure I got the answer.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. We sell online. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, we're on Instagram, we're on TikTok, we're everywhere.
What's your website?
On TikTok.
Yes.
What are you doing on TikTok?
We use our TikTok videos. We use our TikTok videos to entertain our audience on other social media platforms. So if I'm coming on TikTok, I wouldn't want to come as Oladipo Elizabeth. I want to come as 07 Foods. I'll make my audience on Instagram and Facebook happy at the end of the day.
This girl is on fire! She's on fire! Okay, so nice one. I really don't even know what to say. Okay, nice one. Good job. Guys, please note we're giving some giveaway for all of you watching us live across all the platforms. We have 3 winners of our giveaway already. They're getting 10,000 each, and we're still having 15 more. So all you need to do if you're watching on social media, share this video, this streaming 50 to 100 times. If you are here on the webinar call on Zoom, the Zoom link you used to join, share it. What we're going to be doing is that when it's time to announce some new winners, we will ask who invited people on this Zoom platform. We will pick about 5 people on Zoom. We'll then go to some of the other social media platforms and check those who shared the video 50 to 100 times. And you have 10,000 naira free giveaway for you. So about 150,000 is going today. So please share and invite people. I want to say congratulations and well done what your business is into.
Thank you, sir.
Hoping that maybe you're one of the winners.
Amen. Thank you. Thank you very much for the platform, sir.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Next person is going to be Chioma. Yes, Choma, you can put up your audio now. Put up your audio now, yeah. Yes, Choma, I'm not on mute. So you can, yeah, you can put Elizabeth as normal attendee. Choma, are you there? Choma, can you speak up? Your audio, you need to work on your mic, your audio. Somebody is asking what's the other person's name. Our business name, can you share that with us?
07 Foods.
07 Foods.
Oladipo Elizabeth.
And her name is Oladipo Elizabeth. 07 Foods. Oladipo Elizabeth is her name. If Choma is not ready again, let's have somebody else. Let's have Ndidi. Is that Ndidi? Ndidi, if that's you, wave your hand. Or is that, okay, Ndidi, go ahead. Pull up, let's have your audio. John says, is that Choma of Davido? No, this is not Davido's Choma. Can you unmute Ndidi? I don't think you should mute anyone. Let them unmute themselves. Ndidi, go ahead. You have 5 minutes.
Just as there is no brain without the mind, there is also no beauty without the crown, because the crown itself, seated upon the head, is a beauty on its own. My name is Ndidi Folashade Ogboy, and I am the founder of Babe in Care. Babe in Care is a natural hair company that provides solutions for natural hair care products like men, women, and children, with natural ingredients found from herb extracts, fruit extracts, and oils. The business started in November 2019, and it was born out of the zeal and passion to improve the culture of the African Black hair. The history of the Afro textured nappy hair, like mine and thousands of other Africans, dates back to the slavery period, where our forefathers and our mothers are forced to shave their hair. And we understand the pain that has been incurred on them. And that is what we are avoiding in this century. And that is why we created natural hair care products to maintain and groom the natural hair. If we look at, during some of our researches, we studied some Black trends all over the world. We realized that Black the world are embracing their natural hair. They are embracing it and maintaining with natural hair care products to make it look more beautiful. And that was why we did some formulations, and we were able to successfully transform our homemade remedies to commercially viable and effective products. Like I said earlier, we launched in 2019, and we sold all our products in less than a week of our launch. We sold every set of our products through effective digital marketing. We recently rebranded from Exquisite Earmore to Babe in Care. Because the reason why we rebranded from Exquisite Earmore to Babe in Care was because when people search for our brands online, other names pop up like Exquisite Earmore, Exquisite Ear, and they find it very confusing to differentiate from other brands and our brand. That was why we took the big step and transformed and changed our name from Exquisite Earmore to Babe in Care. Since then, we recently rebranded, and our brand name is now called Babe in Care. Like I said earlier, we've registered some level of success with good reviews and feedback from our customers all over. We just started in November 2020. A lot of success on our profile, like I said earlier. So how do we intend to scale and grow? We intend to scale and grow by deploying different technologies, because we know that scaling is not easy. We can't do a lot of money, and that is why we need this brand. We need to scale to deploy marketing technologies like email marketing, Facebook marketing, and Instagram marketing, like we did the other time when we sold all our products in less than a week of our launch. We also need to add facilities like a big giant mixer, because the one we are using now is manual, and it is not even enough to help us produce our products. That is why we need mixers, we need instruments like mixer and other instruments for us to be able to produce our products. And also we need to create reporting systems and measures to be able to manage our results. We need to create a website where people review our businesses and to tell us where we are not doing well, where we can be able to. We also need the website. We also need the website for people to be able to order online on the go. They can order from home, they can order from church, they can order anywhere, name it, anywhere they can order our product on the go. And that is why we need the website. We also need physical location, because currently we are producing from home, and that is not even conducive enough. So we need physical to be able to.
Thank you, Ndidi. Thank you. Thank you so much, Ndidi. Couple of questions that I need to ask you. Choma, mute yourself, please. Couple of questions, Ndidi. First of all, Who is your competitor and what's your competitive advantage?
Well, my competitors, I don't really have competitors for the value I'm sharing because my values, my products are natural products. And I took my time to study and research all the people working on this same product, this natural egg product. And I realized because I took my time to study and research it, and I realized that all their products, in one way or the other, they have chemicals inside, which are very harmful to the hair. And my products have no chemical inside. They were made with natural extract, with no fragrances at all. My competitive advantage is that people want something natural. People are realizing their beauty. They are knowing that the beauty is in the crown. So they want something natural with no chemical. They don't want something that will add adverse effects on them later on. They want something that will be everlasting. That is my.
I have a sample of your product. Do we have a sample?
These are my products. These are the samples of my products.
We're struggling to see your visuals. It's cracking, even though your audio is perfect. Okay, but we can see now. So what is it shea butter is for making people's hair? So these are organic hair nourishment, is that correct?
Hair nourishment, sir. They have no chemicals in them, and they have no fragrances because there are some
you sell online.
There are some fragrances that are made with chemicals. So
I know you are a fast talker, but we are racing against time. We have Ebuka coming shortly, and then the group managing director of Heritage Bank. So we're rushing against time, and we have other people we need to attend to. So I need a short answer. Is this product online?
Yes, it is online. It is online.
What's the name of your website? Let me check our website.
I currently don't have a website, but I have an Instagram page where you can check my products.
What's their Instagram handle? Please check quickly.
Bivilina, B-E-R-T-I.
You know it? Oh yeah, open it for me quickly. So how much did you make in the last 3 months from this business?
50,000 naira in the last 3 months, with over 20% as our own profit.
How much? How much?
I said we've made over 200,000 naira in the last 3 months, with over 20% as our own profit.
200,000 in the last 3 months, and you had 20% profit, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Well, I like your Instagram handle. I kind of like the images. I will buy some samples. Please, can you mute yourself? You guys are mute yourself. Please. Okay. Now I like your page. I'm going to buy some of your product for my daughter, and then see how it works on her hair. Okay. I will really be glad if. Yes, go ahead.
Hello, Bivilina, for Folashade, I would like to advise you that you should never think you don't have this. You should never think that. I know so many people that are making hair products and they don't use any chemical, and people are buying the product aggressively. I know Beats by name, I know Belier, there's Abebi Organic, just so many people selling products for hair without chemicals. So don't you ever think that you don't have competitors. There's nothing someone wants to do right now that somebody else is not doing and has not done. You have competitors. When someone asks you that question about competitors again, make sure you go and you even said you've researched. No, if you research, you'll see that there are so many people that are doing the same thing you're doing. Thank you.
Very true. So competitors are always there. It's important. Also, I will think it's important to invest heavily in getting a website. What do you intend to do if you win this money? What do you want to do with it?
I intend to buy a giant mixer blender because the one I'm currently using is manual. And I also intend to get a NAFDAC approved registration number, because my products, in a way, they are drugs that are administered to people's ear. So I intend to get a NAFDAC registration number. I intend to get a trademarked business name. And I also intend to get a physical location where I can be able to produce conducively, because currently I'm producing from home, and that is not even okay enough to be able, that is not conducive enough, rather. That is
okay. No problem. Guys, what do you think about business? I want everybody to drop their comment, their review about Ndidi's business, okay? Drop your comment, drop your review. Please also visit our social media handle. Again, the name is
Veivillna.
Okay. And I want to say, well done. You know, Ndidi, you know, it's hard to be an entrepreneur in this part of the world. And one part of why we're doing what we're doing is to encourage you guys. Even if you don't win, keep pushing, keep rooting, it ain't stopping. And we hope that you want to find a way to get a clip of this pitch from our team and use it even more for social media adverts. We wanted visibility for your businesses. That's part of why we brought you here. And thank you for applying, and good luck. Okay.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. Choma, we're going to give you the last chance, okay? We've been trying you for a while now. I hope the witches from your village are not no matter. Eh, Choma?
No, sir. Sir, can you hear me now?
We can hear you. Go ahead, shoot.
Okay, good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Chioma Ukpabi, and I'm the founder and creative director of Catsoul Designs. Catsoul Designs is a made in Nigeria footwear brand that deals with crafting footwear for both male and female. We're located in Lagos, Nigeria, and we started in 2018. We started after a little story about my growing up. I am from Abia State, and if everybody is familiar with Abia State, they know that Aba people are fond of making shoes, lots of shoes. And I thought of something. If I made a research and I found out that in every 2 hours somewhere in Aba, 400 pairs of shoes are being crafted. But at the end of the day, people still opt in for foreign-made shoes. So Catsoul Design started after I finished school by sourcing out for the best materials and crafting bespoke piece where we sell to our customers and promise them durability. In the past 2 years we've started this business, we've hit some milestones like having a business account, being registered, we have our tax certification number, we have a website that is live now, we have a business account with 2 banks, and we were awarded one of the Startup of the Year by Entrepreneurship Africa. Why we entered for this competition is for scaling up. We have one of the SDG goals, which is number 8, creating decent jobs for citizens and improving economic growth. So Catsoul Design joined this to enable us get funds to scale up, so that when we scale up, we can be able to meet up with standards where we can be able to employ more hands to join us, because this business is the kind of business that needs more hands to enable us meet up with our production time range. So with the funds, if we get given the funds, we scale up our business such a way that we get more materials to craft out more unique designs we have. We're going to be able to buy new shoe last shapes. Rather than crafting this size of shoes, we can be able to craft out unique designs with other shapes of shoes for our customers. And at the same time, Catsoul Design needs this fund to enable us get some equipment such as sewing machine, a new additional sewing machine, so that the production rate would be faster than normal. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your pitch. We would like the general public to know that their comment is important to us, their feedback is important to us. We will be putting your feedback into consideration in choosing the 3 top winners. So we'd like you to give us update on what you feel about all these businesses. It's important. We also feel that it's good for them too, because they too will be able to read through your comments and see how they can improve. Feedback is a good gift that you can offer any entrepreneur. Chioma, well done. If like I told you yesterday, you know, except for the forces that didn't want your internet to work, You are probably the most organized, well-packaged pitch person here because you're in front of your shop. We can see your logo, we can see the shoes, and your social media is not bad. Your Instagram page is good. It's good. Well done. Well done. The next question is, how much did you make in the last 3 months? What do you want to do with this money? And what was your profit in the last 3 months?
In the last 3 months, due to the Valentine sales we had, we made a total of 300,000 naira. And our profit, a total of 300,000 naira.
Go ahead, don't worry.
We made a, okay, sir. We made a total of 300,000 naira, and our profit from that was about 40% of the money. What we need the funds for, Catso Design, like I said during my pitch, we need to start crafting out unique designs so that people can be able to be interested in Nigerian-made products. And there are shoe laces with different shapes. Rather than making the regular shaped size like this, we can start crafting out square-shaped shoes. So with the funds, Catso can be able to get new, unique shoe laces of different sizes to enable us enhance productivity. Because if we have one lace and we have orders of about 444 sizes, it reduces the production rate. So Catso needs this money to be able to buy new and extra shoe laces so that we can start meeting up with our production rate time.
Okay. Okay, that's fine. Kolawole, you are now one of the 15 finalists, okay? The people pitching right now among the 15 finalists. So I've added Stella Adebayo. You have several handles. We've made one of your handle to come up, so I don't know which one you're talking about. You have more than 6 handles here. So we don't know which one is the real one. Okay, but let's go on. Chioma, who are your competitors? Do you sell online? And how do you want to scale this business?
In the past 13 months, we started recently, we started this business in 2018, but in 13 months, we were selling online through Google My Business, where we got our location on the map. We were selling on different platforms like Jumia and the rest, and then our Instagram handle. But recently, we launched our website where we can now start taking payments from customers internationally and nationwide. We have competitors, but I see my competitors as people I learn from. I use things they do to look for a way to better my business. So for now, Catso Design's competitive analysis advantage is the fact that we have good customer services. We have referrals from customers we've sold to. We try as much as possible to keep our customers coming back. So Catso satisfies its customers through customer service, prompt answering of our DMs and our phone calls, and at the same time, trying as much as possible to meet up with customer targets. So if we give our customers 8 days, we try as much as possible to make sure that our customers' items are ready in 8 days.
I like that. Well done. Well done.
Thank you, sir.
Well done. Can you mute Stella? You know, this Stella is something else. Stella. Huh? I don't know. Okay, so Chioma, good job, good job, good job.
Thank you,
good
sir.
Job. You look
Thank you very much, sir.
I like your pitch.
Thank you,
how
sir.
do you intend to scale this business up? That's the last part of the question.
We intend to scale our businesses up. Recently, during the pandemic lockdown, I've attended various seminars and webinars, and I started looking at ways of collaborating with foreign brands. They might not be foreign people, but they can be Nigerians that have businesses abroad. So Catso Design, trying to meet up with international standards like we've always wanted to, we have been trying to work on ways to look for brands that are on the other parts of the continent so that we can collaborate with them, even if it means sending our items there for them to wear and take pictures of their brands with us. That's the way we've been looking for a way to move our business from the standards it is right now to an international standard. So we've been working on collaborations. We've gotten 1 or 2 companies that we can try to propose our businesses to, but we're still in the progress, sir.
Wow. Nice one. Even one of the competitors is sharing you up that you deserve this grant.
Yeah, friends.
Or you guys are friends or what? You know. Okay. Nice one. Good job. You want to add anything to the next person?
No, you've really answered well. I'm proud of you. Well done.
Okay, so guys,
thank you very much, ma'am.
I'd like you to drop your comments. What do you think about Chioma's business? Like we said, we're relying a lot on, because you can see most of them are quite good. And we can only pick 3 people. The first winner has 500,000, second person 300,000, the last third person gets 200,000 as a grant to continue their business. And I may invest beyond that if during the mentorship I like their books. I kind of like that Chioma talks about our accounting and our records, and I will personally check all these things. So one of the things that we are going to be selecting the top 5 today, and the top 5 will be needing a lot of those things: your corporate account, your bank statement, your website, your
even has tax number,
your record and all of that, because it's important that businesses are structured no matter how small. You don't grow big to manage well. You manage well to grow big. If you're going to become a big company, it says your ability to manage it in the small days that gets it bigger. I started conference. I remember my first conference, seminars like this. Now, I mean, yesterday alone, we have had over 10,000 views across all the platforms we streamed from. Today, I'm sure we're going to have more than 10,000 views. But when I started, my first training was, I think, 7 or 17 people that showed up. But you need to see how I packaged it, right? It was my last money I used, but you want to carry it well, package it as if the world is about to end, as if that's all. So you don't grow big to manage well, you manage well to grow big. So good job, well done. And I love that you're sourcing locally. If I were the president of Nigeria, I am going to turn our back to the next China. Trust me, Onitsha, is going to turn to the next China. Literally, it will, beat these people to it. But I'm not the president. So all we can do is to keep seeing how we can support small businesses like yours and hopefully take it to the next level.
Thank you very much, sir.
Next person. Oh, it's already 2 o'clock. Do we have Ebuka? Is Ebuka joined us? Let's see if we have the next speaker join us. Okay, next person is Stella Adebayo. Okay, Stella, come up. Stella, where are you? Okay, Stella is not here. No, but her name is here, Stella Adebayo. So, Stella, maybe you're not ready. Stella, can you send a message to Stella? There are 5 Stellas. We only had 2. Can you turn the other one to just a member and see if you can trace the one she's using to comment? Okay, thank you. T Nature, come up. The way you're holding your hand, T Nature, is that, oh Lord, touch them. As I pitch this idea, it is me they will pick up. Ain't no name of Jesus. Okay, nice to have you.
Thank you so much.
Go ahead, you have 5 minutes, quickly.
Okay. Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, everyone watching. My name is Oluwati Sholabiola. I'm the founder of Tis Nature Shea Butter. It's a cosmetic company. We're basically a social enterprise that has found our model on working with rural women. So we have a 2-way sustainability model such that working with the rural women has ensured that they have a steady source of income, and we never have to worry about getting raw materials for our products. We are 4 years old, and in the last 3 years, we worked with the rural women. And aside the rural women, we also engage youths in the urban centers who sign up as distributors for our products. So that way, they're able to get one additional stream of income. Number two, they're able to live more productive lives and engage in more productive activities. And in the last couple of years, we've seen our business evolve from starting out in my parents' in one room in my parents' house to having a shared space at the Technology Incubation Center where we currently produce our products. And it's been really, really amazing how far we've come. We've gotten our NAFDAC approval in the last 4 years. We've been able to get our accounting sorted out. We've been able to track all our customers. So in the last 4 years, we've had a little below 10,000 customers with a revenue of above 10 million naira, of which 70% of these figures of the revenue came after we got an NAFDAC approval. So at the phase where we're in now, the possibilities for our products scaling up and being so limitless. We have currently we also have 47 young distributors that have signed up as our distributors, and 85% of those distributors are between 18 and 35 years old.
Okay, thank you for your pitch. I love the concept of using share butter, and I think that's very good. My next question to you is, how much have you made in the last 3 months? Who are your competitors? What do you want to do with the money if you're given? And this is very important. Go ahead.
In the last 3 months, we've made a revenue of 50,000 naira, with 45% of that as profit. Okay, and producing on a small scale and comparing that to producing on a large scale, the margins are brutal. So one of the things that we want to use these funds for is to expand our capacity, and number two, ensure that we were able to sign up more distributors. And another thing that we need to use this, sorry?
You made 50,000 naira. How much of that is profit?
500.
You made 500.
I said 500
naira.
Yes, in the last 3 months.
That was profit.
45% of that was profit, because from the start, we've known how much. So for every jar of our products that we sell, we understand that 45% of the cost of this is profit. So just doing the maths, 500,000 naira revenue, 45% of that is also our profit. And another thing that we've also, can you hear me?
Go ahead.
Okay. Another thing that we've also researched on in the last 4 years is that one of the risk factors for our business is that it melts. And so because we're living in a region where it's usually warm and hot, by the time our products get to the customers, sometimes they're melted. By the time they supply supermarkets, they're melted and all of that. And so in the last 4 years, I've researched on an equipment, because one of the things I try to ensure is that we do not use artificial means to preserve our products through artificial means. So we had researched on it for these last 4 years to get a machine that would solidify our products and still give our brand promise by the time it gets to our user. And so we've done that back and forth, researching, testing, sending samples and all that. And honestly, it's time. And then because in the urban centers also, our young distributors are not people that would readily want to preserve these products. They do not have the means. They just want to move from one place to the other to sell our products. And this has been a major factor. So if we're able to get this machine to preserve and make our products solid, it would Whoosh. I can't hear you. Hello? Can you hear me?
Go ahead. I'm not talking.
And we're able to preserve these products, it would have a wider reach. We'll be able to send more of our products abroad, without considering the shipping time. It stays in the same state, basically. You're muted, sir. You're muted.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
Yes. So I'm asking now, you are into shea butter. Is it only shea butter you're into?
Yes, ma'am. We're into shea butter in different forms. And so we have the big jar, the small jar, and recently we've also started doing shea butter in tubes. So more people it captures different markets. So this one works for events, and we use this for event souvenirs.
Wait, so like I wanted to know, do you mix the shea butter with anything, or just the normal Ori they are selling, but your own is just branded?
Okay, so we have 4 different variants of our products. We have shea butter in strawberry, vanilla, minty, and native. And shea butter strawberry. So for example, strawberry is a fruit, which is a natural fruit. So extracting the oil from strawberry would give us what we know as signature shea butter strawberry. And so vanilla also can be extracted. Mint, most cosmetic producers know that there's something called the mint leaf. There's a leaf called the mint leaf, which is also natural. So extracting that also. So most times when people say that you've added chemicals, no, they're not chemicals. They're other natural products that enhance the potency of the product.
All right. So have you ever thought of growing in this shea butter?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you ever thought of growing, like, you make shea butter maybe with ginger, garlic, then it will now be important to do something else?
Sorry, I didn't get that.
Or for body.
You tell.
No, she's not. She's not.
Sorry, I didn't get that.
I'm coming.
Okay.
Stella, please mute your microphone.
Stella, mute yourself. This Stella, this Stella matter. Stella up now. I mean, why is everybody bearing Stella? Please go ahead and see.
This nature.
Yes, mute, please. Any Stella, go ahead.
Yes. So I'm saying that shea butter now, they only into shea butter and different fragrances like vanilla, strawberry. I'm not saying, have you ever thought of adding other natural ingredients to the shea butter that will make it useful for other things, like for maybe your skin glow, hair growth? You know, people are mixing shea butter this day for many things. It's like, I can go to you, if I'm a customer to you now, I can come to you and tell you, what are you selling? It's not shea butter. They are selling maybe 15 naira. And then what is strawberry? I can go to ShopRite and easily get strawberry and blend it for something and put inside the shape and mix it. Have made what you want. So what special application? Okay. So have you ever thought of going and then having results and selling it? Have you ever thought of that?
Yes, ma'am. We're very deliberate about releasing products. So this one is Signature Minty, and this was brought up as a result of my grandma always complaining about aches and pains. And so research and further research has brought up this Signature Minty. So people that have aches and older ones around would readily buy into this minty. And so for native, we have different, it's raw shea butter, but then we realized that there were people asking us that, do you have raw shea butter? I want to do my own thing. I want to add my own formula and all that. So we put that variant as an alternative. And also, we've also tried to experiment, and we're still researching on different other ones, because one of the things that has driven me personally is that we want to ensure that the products and the content of what we're using are totally organic. And basically we've made progress with that, and soon we will be launching different other brands and different other variants, and also feeding a larger market by supplying to other cosmetic companies. Because one of the things we've also done is to be deliberate about having a niche in the shea butter industry and not just doing a lot. In times past, I've tried black soap, I've tried so many other oils and natural products, but then staying in the shea butter space, there are so many things to explore. Shea butter in chocolates, shea butter in as oils for food and all that. So these are the things I've tried to explore over time. And with time, as time goes on, very soon we'll be exploring, rolling out those other brands out.
Great, thank you very much. Thank you so much. We are glad to have you, and we pray your business keeps moving and moving. We hope you're one of the winners. Thank you for joining us. Goodbye.
Bye.
All right, bye. So please, can we have Adejoke, since I think she's the only one that is up right now. Adejoke, can we have you? Please unmute your microphone.
I just did. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you perfectly.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Adejoke. I'm the CEO of My Bright Concept.
Your review concerning the shea butter lady. We would like to have that. Okay, so guys, please type your, yes, teenager. Let's have your review about her business and what you think and whether she deserves
the money.
This grant. Go ahead. We'll now have Adejoke introduce yourself, your business. You can show us a sample of your products and why you deserve this. Go ahead.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Adejoke. I'm the CEO of My Bright Concept. My Bright Concept, what we do majorly is makeovers for bridals, for occasions, for photo shoots, for movie productions and all that. So presently, I'm not where I can access some of my equipment, because majorly is equipment I need to present. But I have little to present because I'm on an errand for my boss, so I won't be able to do much. But the little I can do, I have them here with me. So majorly what we do in My Bright Concepts is makeover, majorly for maybe events, occasions, movie production. And the reason we are here for this challenge is this. During the whole pandemic, we noticed that we can't work. We've not been working, we'll be indoor. So we sat down, we thought about it. What can we do so that after the whole thing, we can come out good? So we decided to go for online trainings, in which one of it was Jump Challenge, in which I was opportune to have Stephen Akitayo as one of the speakers. And he spoke with so much wisdom, which I felt, wow, who is this person? I need to know him more. So I went to his page, I saw so many things, and I decided to jump to the challenge. And I've been online since the beginning of this program. It has been wonderful. It has been wonderful. So we jump on the challenge, and we're glad we are in this particular level that we are. So majorly in My Bright Concepts, the tools we use are brushes, but I have brushes here. And this is one of its brushes for it. And this particular brush I'm holding is quite expensive. And this is the reason we decided to, like, okay, we like I said in my other speech, we so much believe in expertise, we believe in professionalism. Fine, we've been going for trainings. So far, God has helped us to equip ourselves with our professionalism. But what we just find out that we need majorly in the Bright Concept is the resources. We are not having much of it. So we now decided to jump on this challenge so that it can help us to help our business. When we jump on the challenge, we found out that, okay, this is a good thing. So why we did is we got a contract, like 2 contracts one from DSTV and the other from a Nollywood for movie production as official makeup artists, then we find out that we need to do so many things to be able to meet up with the standard, which resources was really, really the issue. So we decided, okay, with this program, it can help us to meet up with the standard which they are looking at. They believe in our professionalism, they believe we can do it, but to us, we know that the resources cannot, is not enough. So we decided to jump on this and get the resources so that we can be able to meet up to the standard they want as DSTV, because they are going to be airing it and they need a good product. To get a good product as a makeup artist, you need money. When I mean money, you need enough resources. And this is why we decided that, okay, by the time we join this challenge and we're able to get funds, we'll be able to get so much equipment. Like this particular brush I'm holding is 50,000 naira. It's 50,000 naira. We have some products that we know that if we use these products, it will tarnish our image as a company. That is how we decided, okay, by the time we join the challenge, we're able to get resources, we'll be able to meet up with the standard.
Okay, I did, from my bride. First of all, what is unique about your business? What is unique? Everybody does makeup. Okay, what's unique? What is unique about what you do? Hello, are you there? Adejoke, are you there? Hello? Hello, can you hear me? If you can hear me, guys, those of you watching here, if you can hear me, type, I can hear you. Okay. So Adejoke's network is gone, so it's not from our end. Let's have the next person. Ninola Styles. Are you there? Ninola Styles, are you there? Okay, go ahead. Put up your camera and your audio. And unfortunately, because of time, we're reducing it to 2 minutes each. 2 minutes. However, guys, you can drop your comment on Adejoke's business. Just drop your comment. What you think about business? Just drop your comments. We won't be able to have an idea. You have 2 minutes. Go ahead.
Hi.
You can
Good afternoon.
make a, large.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. My name is Leah Kosala. I'm the creative director at Ninola Styles. So Ninola Styles is a fashion designing company. We offer bespoke tailoring services in bridal and occasional wears, like the one behind me. So at the moment, we currently run on manual sewing machines, and that has really slowed down our productivity, because we use a whole lot of couture sewing techniques. We can't. There's a limit to what we can do with the machineries we have. Eventually, we have to resort to using hand stitching most times, because, okay, let me take it closer to this dress here. Because of the kind of volume we deal with in bespoke, and we are using manual sewing machines, we have to use our hands to tailor them like this because of the volume. So getting this grant, it will really help us scale up, because we get a whole lot of inquiries that we have to have turned down because we know we can't meet up with it. A custom dress that is supposed to take nothing more than about 4 weeks. Oftentimes we take more than 4 weeks. We take about 6 weeks, 8 weeks, depending on the volume of the bridal dress we are working on. So it really limits our output. And this has been a huge challenge for us. At the moment, we have 7 staffs. Out of those 7 staffs, 4 of them are interns, because what I stand for as Ninola Styles is I love to support women. I love to empower women. So what I do is every 6 months, I take in new interns. I take 4 at a go because I work from home, and there's a limit to how many individuals I can take. So I take 4 interns at a go. And
right.
what?
Thank you. Thank you. You know, we are running out of time, so we gave you 2 minutes to speak up, and then we've overpassed 2 minutes. So I'm going to quickly ask you, in the last 3 months, what have you made? How much have you made? And what is your profits?
Well, on an average of a month, we make about 423,000 naira. 45%.
423?
Yes. 45% of that is our profit. And our income is not, because of the kind of business we run, it's not a stable income. Sometimes we can take about 2 bridals in a month, and some other months there's no bridal, but just occasional dresses. So it fluctuates, but on an average.
All right. So if I want to go for an Owambe now, and I want to sew a long dress, how much is your rates?
Our starting price at Ninola is 20K for Ashwebis. So the final prices would be dependent on the accessories we are going to be putting on it, the kind of design you want. It's not an elaborate design, or it's what's it called, modest design. So those are the factors that we need to consider. But we have a starting price, and that's our starting price. For our bridal, our starting price for bridals is 95,000 naira. This is not inclusive of what?
Give me a second.
Sorry, I didn't get that.
Anichebe is here.
The line is breaking.
Can you pull up your audio and your video?
Yeah, my
you are an expert in this.
My
Don't
audio
worry,
is
just give me a second. Just listen.
All right.
I know, just listen to me.
Okay.
So Ebuka, you are an expert in this. So I just felt we could even start your training with this.
Right.
Because after you is the group managing director of Heritage Bank.
Okay.
And we can't even play joke with his time.
Of course.
So
of course.
I just felt let's just have you join us and begin to give some advice to these entrepreneurs. That then maybe after we have Dr. Sekibo, we can then have you wrap up after his session. So I didn't even know you have joined us. Ebuka is a long-time friend, amazing guy, amazing speaker. I mean, people like him, when they speak, I wonder what I'm doing as a speaker. You know, and you know, it calls me mentor, but I don't know what people like this see in me to call me mentor, because he's just an amazing. I love listening to Ebuka. I love listening to Ebuka. I will pay to listen to him. You know, good to see you here. Thank you.
Good to see you, bro. Good to see you. How's it going?
So, yes, Niniola, go ahead.
Oh, okay. Okay, so can you hear me?
Giving out.
Yes, we can hear you. I think I'm a fan of Niniola on Instagram.
Oh wow, that's nice.
Oh really?
Yes. I think I'm following your page on Instagram. Yes.
Oh, thank you.
Okay. Go ahead, Niniola. Go ahead. You have just one to wrap this up.
Okay. So I was talking about our bridals. Aside sewing, aside tailoring, we offer bridal consultations and on the ground styling. That is when we go to our brides' weddings to dress them up, because most of these dresses are elaborate and can't be worn by themselves. So that is one of our services. So one of the judges was asking me the other time about how much to charge, and that was where I was before you caught me.
I was hearing that.
Yeah. So our bridal starting price is 95K, but before then we have a fee of 10K for consultation. That is what we do, where we talk about your dresses and everything before moving on to making the dress. So after that, we have the on-the-ground styling, where you pay for us to come and dress you up and style you for your big day. So those are some of the pricings we have. So our dresses can go as high as you want, depending on the fabric used, the embellishment used. And that is one of the constraints we have, because we don't have the resources for large, what's it called now? For couture embellishments. We tend to do most of hand beading.
Okay. Which one is on?
Your 1 minute. Your 1 minute is up. For those of you watching us all over the world, welcome and thank you for joining us. We are having a pitch competition here. We had over 100 entries. These are the final 15. We're giving away ₦1 million to help support this business. I will personally also be mentoring them, the 3 winners. I'll probably be mentoring them to see that their business grows. So the people you're seeing are the 15 finalists, and we would love you to join us in help to review their businesses. Okay, so feel free to type in what you think, say a few things you think they add to people here. We also have a giveaway. We're giving out 10,000 out to 15 people today. So feel free to share. If you're watching on Facebook or Instagram, or share. If you're able to share between 50 to 100 times, you qualify to get 10,000 credit. And we're picking quite a good number of people. If you're also watching via webinar, just go and give your friends this link to join the webinar. And we're also going to be selecting people to give this to. Ebuka, I'll allow you to either ask question or comment on what she needs to do to improve her business. We are not choosing anybody here. We'll announce the 5 finalists who may still have to do something tomorrow for us to then choose tomorrow. By the end of tomorrow, we'll pick the winner. But you're just to encourage, correct, give what they need to do to get their business better. So please go ahead.
All right, so Niniola, good pitch. I like your pitch. I've been listening to you. I've been following your work as well. So I think you're onto something good. Now is the time for everybody to realize that your digital marketing skill has to be on the increase. You can no longer afford to not learn how to do simple things like copywriting, right? How to sell, we call it faceless selling, right? How to write so that you can move people, especially when your industry has been hit like this has been. Weddings, obviously, big weddings are going away. So even though the weddings may go away, the big weddings that we know, as we know, it may go away, but the bride still wants to have an enchanted day. So yes, she may save costs on not having to hire a 500 or 1,000 seater hall and feed 1,000 people. So your job now will be to let people know that, yes, while your big day may not be so big anymore, but don't compromise on your dress. So use your behavior in your advertising. I still believe you need to be spending more money advertising now, right? Calling people on the phone, which I know is what Stephen Akintayo also said he's up to now, right? I'm spending heavy on promoting my farm produce, on getting people, investors on board my community in Kobo Invest. So you should be doing the same thing. But if you can realize that this is not going anywhere for the next 2 years, so large gatherings may not be possible for another year or 2, then what next? What next? People are going to be spending a lot more money on other things. Will you be part of that? Becomes the question. And if you're not going to be part of that, then where is the money being spent, and how can you be able to get people on board doing what you're already doing? Right? So is it, we call this in business call birds. What's your call bird? What's your call bird? The call bird is, what's that thing that is the attraction that people come to you for? What is your call bird now? Why you might be doing couture dressings? What will be the thing that will make people want to keep coming back to you. So let's talk about that.
Okay. So I'm not sure we can take your response, Niniola, right now, but the advice, and I think I want to give this advice to all of you, were like the earlier lady we had, that's my bright concept. So anybody who they hit hard, we said we're not hosting you anymore, you know, we've taken your what you said and you're good. So for you, Ajoke, as well as Niniola, who are in this sector hit by COVID, you need to know that what you need to begin to think of is how do you restructure your business? Do you leave it for now and move into something else? Or is there a version of your business that can still be relevant now? Because just like Ebuka has said, COVID-19 is heavy. I don't think this is going away anytime soon. Think long term. Nobody is just going to be doing elaborate wedding anytime soon until the vaccine is out, and you're looking at 1 to 2 years. And so your industry is hit heavily. And so you want to begin to think right now, what are my options? What are the alternatives? You know, what are the things I need to begin to look into? Why am I still seeing Stella Adebayo as a male? I'm seeing two Stella Adebayo again. I've told you, tell her to use another email and another name. Okay, Stella, use another email and another name. We're having too many Stella Adebayo. I don't know how you gave multiple people to use your own link to join. Okay? This is a typical case of witches from the village, honestly. Stella. Case of witches from the village. Because I don't understand. I don't get it. Okay, but that's really our advice, guys, that you want to make sure that you work. We are not seeing any Notori Boot School. She says she's used Notori Boot School. We are not seeing it. So you have to make sure the username is in another name, okay? Because we're just saying Stella. Please pull down all those two Stellas, please. So guys, please, I want to encourage those of you who are in that space, think of something else that you can invest in this season. For example, I had thought of us going into commercial real estate, right? You know, we wanted to expand our GTEx hub. In fact, we had made almost making payment for massive property in Abuja, massive property in London, massive property in the UK and in US. But right now is no good time for commercial real estate. It's no good time. And these are some of the things you need to know when it comes to business. It's never sentimental, okay? If it's not good time, it's no good time, right? And you just, for us, that is in the backbone, and I will have to watch till things get better. So the same thing for you guys. Then you want to ask yourself, where are the opportunities? I would rather to do a show, an online show on wedding dresses than necessarily thinking of making money from wedding dresses right now. I'd rather do a show on makeup, and Ebuka, I believe you agree with me. I'd rather be doing makeup show and, you know, trying to, you know, pivot or pitch a makeup, you know, makeup setup or makeup design business right now. Nobody ain't gonna give me money on a makeup idea, except if it's a TV show, reality TV show, content, because you can see what Netflix has done. Netflix just sent ExxonMobil literally packing in terms of the value of Netflix that is less than 10-year-old is $91 billion. Meanwhile, ExxonMobil that is over 100 years old is just 171 and it's still going down. So guys, these are the things you want to all begin to look at. Where do you need to begin to restructure what you do so that you're in a good position for this? So we're done with Ajoke and Niniola style. I hope you've learned. We wish you all the best, you know, in this. We hope that you probably win this. Guys, give them ideas, and you feel free to chat what you think about their business. Next person that we're bringing up is Agbola. Agbolo, what's the name? Can you put up your camera and your video? And Ebuka, you can keep up your video and your audio. Let the two of us just wrap up this. Agbolo, where are you? Are you there? Okay, anybody else who is among those to pitch, who is here, just come up. Just come up. Okay, anybody else? Aside the ones we've mentioned, is there somebody else we've not covered that is here? If you're supposed to come up and you're here, let us know. We cannot have anybody else conclude their pitch because this is the session for Ebuka that we have eaten into, So we're just trying to see and anybody who really can't, we are not able to pick up right now, we might not be able to pick you up, because we already have good ideas. So Oluwabu Solami, you are next. Can we have you? So maybe you'll be the last because we can't see Agbolo.
Hello.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you loud and clear from here. Yeah.
Okay. My name is Ogubono Busola.
We need to see your video.
Wow, I don't know why my video is not coming up. Oh my God.
Oh my Jesus. Ebuka, can you please teach us a thing or two on, can you just teach us a thing or two on pitching an idea, please? Like I'm almost, peeing on my panties with some of the things I've seen yesterday and today. Just give us a few tips.
Right. So first of all, realize that everybody's online. All the pastors, if you got Instagram, you realize everybody's online. People are doing stuff. People are, everybody's talking because they are home, right? So this just tells you that the virtual space is going to become even more crowded than it has ever been before. So your job is to find out what are the best ways that I can do a combination of three things. Number one, how can I entertain my people, right? And entertainment, I don't mean you have to necessarily be a clown, but bring them information that they find laughable so that you train them, right? You train them to want to come back every time. So how can I entertain them? How can I enlighten them? And how can I educate them? This is the time when you need to be teaching people on, this is the back door on how we do our pizza, or a back door on how we sew our clothes, how we get this. You want to be able to grow, even if you can't grow your wealth now, but by all means, grow your awareness, grow your brand awareness. Let people get to know you, right? Grow your customer base. That's one thing. Second thing I think people need to understand is if your business has been badly affected. So say, for example, you had an event center and you can no longer use that. Your job is to start thinking, so what else can I be doing, right? Don't go down with your business. That's the last thing you want to do. Do not go down with your business. As an entrepreneur, which is what you need to be thinking of what are the new ways I can serve. And if you don't have to have money right now, you need to be looking for where are the places that other people are already possibly not affected. So for example, I'll give you what I know. A friend of mine does facility management. So he does disinfecting, sanitizing, and fumigation. His business is booming right now because everybody's kind of, scared of dirt, scared of germs. So what am I doing? I partnered with him. I'm introducing him to my clientele and we are sharing profits. That's kept me busy for the last 1 month. So what could you be doing? The question is, you need to be marketing something. If you're broke, it just means you're not selling something. So what can you be selling? What are people still buying, right? Don't sell things that are unsellable. Look for things that are not rocket science, right? So if you're selling face masks right now, boom, you're in business because everybody's going to have to, right? This is what you want to be doing.
Ebuka, fantastic. I don't know whether your network is affected.
So, or even just WhatsApp stories.
Yeah, I think your network
can be
affected. Well, go ahead.
Just on WhatsApp.
So,
Over that, right? Now, I'm looking to scale that up massively. So, throughout today, there's a new product that we just brought to the country, and I've been recruiting marketers for that particular product online, right? Using just Instagram and WhatsApp, and people are responding, right? They're responding. Anybody can do this. Like I tell them, look, you sell this, it costs 10 million. You sell it, you get 10% commission. People are jumping on board, right? And there are lots of phone calls are coming through. Even while I'm doing this, I'm getting phone calls and I'm rejecting them. I need to get back on them to conclude. Have I changed anything? Have I changed anything? No, not necessarily. Okay, so Stella says, what's Kobo Invest about? Kobo Invest is something that we started in January because we saw the coronavirus. Coronavirus started in 2019. We realized that, look, this will come to Africa. We were not blinded by the fact that people were saying it doesn't affect Black people. We knew it was going to come. So we started this as a platform where people can invest in farmlands in Kaduna and in a place called Ofada. Ofada is in Ogun State. So we have farmlands there. You invest with us for the next 7 months and we give you 40% return on investments. Really that simple. So you don't own the farm. You just get the returns from the farm. You don't manage the farm. We manage the farm for you and you get 40%. So it's very generous. It's very general from us. So that's what we do in Kobo Invest.
Ebuka, now, your network has been badly affected. We're struggling to hear you well.
Oh wow! Yes. I didn't know that, and I was rattling myself here.
I know, but we heard most of what you said. You talked about Kobo Invest, how people could invest in Abuja and Ofada and places like that. Guys, have you learned something from what Ebuka has just shared so far in how to structure your business, pitch your business, how to get customers, how to grow this? Because we have over 100 contestants, only 3 people can win. So the truth is that most of you will not win, but it's important to learn what we're sharing, as that is where the chances are more. How do you recruit marketers? Even us in real estate, we are recruiting marketers like no man's business. We're putting together a brokers conference that's going to be global in nature. And we're growing to about 100,000, marketers, because this time is the time to sell. It's the time to sell. It's not the time to borrow. It's not really the time to borrow in the Nigerian context because you're not really sure when things will get back to normal, you can really pay back your investors. So it's rather a good time to hustle and sell. The only people who can give investors assurance now are those into agriculture, those into direct line with COVID, direct beneficiary of COVID, agri, pharmaceutical, sanitizers, sanitizing machines. In fact, there's a guy, Wale, the owner of Sapphire Sense. I was just interviewing him, some days ago. And the day after, I saw him show a branded, you have these security doors people go through. This scanner, whether you have gone. He has done a branded version that sanitizes you, human sanitizer. You are coming to the office complex, the thing sanitizes you as a human being, just like the one in the bank.
That's right.
That's how you want to begin to, kind of restructure what you do. Not to say, because you're selling perfume, you're selling glasses, people, that's not the priority of people right now. Not glasses, not perfume. It's the last thing to come to their mind. There are 2 more people we have here, Stella Adebayo and Olubusola.
Hello, can you hear me, please?
We can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, please, can you see me? I'm not sure if you are seeing me, but can I go ahead?
Yes, go ahead, please.
Okay, my name is Olukomo Abusolami. I'm the creative director at Raw Leather Crafts. According to SardusIndia.com, the leather industry generates $53.2 billion worldwide. And according to Nigeria Economic Summit Group, the leather industry is estimated to generate $1.2 billion by 2025. And due to
they just allowed you.
Please, can I continue?
Yeah. Some people are saying they can't see you, though they would like to see you. So, okay. So
I'm not sure if you are seeing me.
yeah, we're going to bring you up on screen real soon.
We can't see you. So let's take Stella.
Okay. Thank you, Lord. Good afternoon, Zaz. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. And you can see me. Thank you. Okay. My name is Stella Adebayo. I'm the proprietress of Nutribot School, a startup based in Lagos, Nigeria, that gives households with children aged 3 to 15 in low-income communities an opportunity to capture value from their waste by accepting recyclables like plastic bottles, can and tin in exchange for payment of the school fees of their children, while providing a reliable supply of this to the local recycling companies when local recycling companies recycle this, they make shirts, bags, shoes, and other materials that are valuable. Okay, so we started in 2018. In 2018 September, it was a startup phase for a testing phase. And after that period, we had 21 enrollments in our school. So by 2019 September, we had a total of 50 enrollments, giving us a revenue of about 1.7 million naira. Basically, we generate revenue from these recyclables, branded school uniform wears, tuition fee, literacy materials.
I'm sorry, we're struggling to hear you well. It's cracking, it's breaking. Let's see if we can have Olumide. Olumide, can we have you unmute yourself and your camera? You can also unmute Olumide. Let's have Olumide.
Good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
Go ahead. Can we see your image, your video? Go ahead.
My video is on, sir.
2 minutes.
My name is Lawal Azizat Olumide. I'm the creative director of Z Global Pastry. Z Global Pastry is a business that I started around 2017, and we were officially registered November 2018. We are into the business of making affordable cakes, yummy cakes for all occasions, for birthday parties, for conferences, bridal parties, bridal showers, just name it. And as we all know, and there is this saying that what is a party without cakes? We all know cakes help us add. It adds colorful meanings to our parties. It gives us these memories, long-lasting memories for our parties. And cakes are healthy too, because some people have this notion of cakes are sugary, cakes are this, cakes are that. Cakes are not like that, especially when you are getting cakes from Z Global Pastry, because we make sure our cakes are made from the freshest and finest ingredients. So aside the baking aspect of Z Global Pastry, we have another major aspect that is so dear to our heart, which is our academy. The Z Global Pastry Cake Academy is where we train people, both adults and kids, into becoming professional cake bakers. In year 2018, we were able to reach out to over 30 kids from the grassroots. We had to do this house-to-house advertisement to bring out kids during the 2018 summer holiday, where we trained them from scratch. It was between age 5 to 15. Yes, age 5 to 15. So we trained them to be great bakers from scratch. Don't you think it's a great thing when they have this skill at hand right from when they are kids? Growing up with it is so amazing. yeah, it's so amazing. It brings out the best in them. They take that along with their education. It does not deter whatever they want to become in future. So we have the kids at hand because we really want Z Global Pastry to have this part
so much. Thank you so much. Ebuka, you want to go ahead with the questions for her?
Yes. So for the last speaker, I want to find out the question. How your business, you said it's divided into two. So you're in the business of doing cakes and you're also in the business of training. Now, how with the coronavirus now, how is that one part of your business, the training part? How has that been affected and what are you doing about it?
Yes, it's been affected, actually. It's been affected. That's why we are pitching for this grant. Because basically,
so that you can do what with it. So that you can do what with the grant.
Yeah, that's what I want to say. Basically, I'm a home baker, as you can see. I work from home. I work at home. That is where I work. So we have a physical store. We're actually pitching for a physical store where we can have people walk in, or where we can have children, adults have their training online, their hands on deck, doing what they really love to do. But if we had a physical store with this pandemic, at least we won't really be affected. We won't really be affected to that great extent, because it would actually have a specific amount of students that are coming. So it would the only thing we'll just do is maybe shift our trainings, shift whatever we are doing. But working from home, it's not easy. Nobody wants their family, nobody wants their children to come out and train anywhere. Nobody wants that.
Exactly. So what I would like, you to come from is, if you were saying you have a new platform which teaches women, not necessarily just bakers, but housewives, how to do their own bread, do their own cake, do their own scones from home, and you're teaching them. Now you can have an e-academy and teach this on
we have an online platform. We have a YouTube channel. We have a YouTube channel where we post recipes, we post how things are done. Even on our Instagram page, if you go through our Instagram page very well.
No. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. I know you have your Instagram page. I know you have this. I'm talking about how are you making money, revenue, right? Because it's a business.
Yeah, we are making. We are
if
still
you are
working.
able to,
we are working from home now. Yes, sir.
If you are able to come up with like an e-learning platform, I believe that's part of what he's saying, where women can pay you to log in, they watch courses, how to prepare different pastries and all that you do. And you can even give them certificates, okay? You give them certificates. And so at the end of, those are some of the things you should do to consider. We're not saying you're not doing that, and we're not saying what you're doing doesn't work at the moment. We're just saying these are the alternatives you need to consider. We already have Dr. Sekibo okay, Dr. Sekibo has already joined us. He's going to be coming up at 3 p.m. So we have 7 minutes more. So thank you, Olumide. We've taken note of your idea. We're going to select 5 people, and then the final 3 will be in the 1 million naira grant to grow your business in this season. But Ebuka, I would like you to final add to onward.
Please, am I visible?
Yes, you can go now. You can.
You see me, please.
The final section.
Okay, guys, you're not visible anymore. But that's not important. We don't want you to be visible right now. Look, if you really want to find ways to get yourself to ensure that even COVID-19 doesn't take your business down, stop thinking of, oh, what can I hold on to in the past? Sit down, assume that the world has come to an end, and this is a new beginning, right? Now, if you're sitting down from this zero, what do you have? Number one is the market. Where's the market? Where's the market? The market may not even be in Nigeria. People selling face masks. Akintayo, You remember your friend I met through you? He's now selling our Nigerian face mask in New York for $10 each, while people are struggling to sell it for 500 naira a year. Right?
Yeah.
Yes, Deepo is doing. I mean, he told me, I just updated. I said, hey, Deepo, how is that sales going? He said, man, I've done
$2,000. Talk less of those of us in Nigeria. In
exactly.
Baltimore, USA, is Ankara face masks, right?
Yes.
Talk less of.
So realize that this is your advantage, right? If your business is affected, realize that no, people are not going to just stop all of a sudden. They're just going to find new ways. So if, for example, you were a teacher before and your school is no longer opening because the federal ministry, realize that parents will not suddenly stop teaching their kids. Right now, they're going to be looking for e-lesson teachers, right? They're going to be looking for private tutors that can come to their house, they sanitize them, spray their leg, they can come and teach their kids, because you're not going to stop doing everything. You're just going to find a new way of doing old things. So realize that the market is still there, but the market has changed their ways of purchasing. And that's why new millionaires will come out of this. If you're able to look at what the market is doing and you're able to adjust your products to match that. That's number one. Number two, quickly, is you need to learn who are your right messengers. The banks are going to lay off a lot of people. A lot of people have already been laid off. More people will be laid off. Airlines are laying off people. Hotels have laid off people. Now, all of these people that they've laid off, realize that they still have their clientele lists. They didn't lay them off and then seize their phones. No, they still have clients that they know that have money, that they know are investors, that they know are purchasers. Your job is to find ways that those people can become your messengers, that those people can start earning income by selling whatever it is you're producing. So find out how to recruit new messengers across Nigeria. Across Nigeria. That's the second thing you should be doing. The last thing I want to say is realize that the media platforms that you're on, review them to find out if are these still the best ways. So should I still be on Facebook, or should I have moved to Twitter, or should I have moved to Instagram, or even TikTok? I realized that I've been spending a lot of time on Instagram when my majority of my clientele were people above the age of 45, and their best social media was WhatsApp stories. I moved my markets there, moved all my stories there, and I'm getting better return on investment. So I realized I was wasting my time building my Instagram followers to 15,000 when the 200 people I had on my WhatsApp, they had bigger spending power. You need to start from scratch. Start from scratch. The world has restarted. Your job is to reset. Don't try to make small changes. I'll give you an example. Everybody that's gone to the UK will usually go to a shop. There's a particular shop, the cheapest shop in the UK. Stephen, I can tell you, what's the name? Primark. Primark is the cheapest shop in the UK. When coronavirus hit, Primark did not have a website that was, like H&M websites or Next websites. And so their income basically just came to zero.
Yeah.
Like that.
They made, I think, 600 million pounds a year before.
Yes.
Go down to zero just because they didn't have an online portal. It was a decision by unwise management not to have a portal.
So
because now it's expensive. Now that they want to be using portal, it's going to be more expensive for their customers to buy their product. So it doesn't make sense.
Precisely. So The question now is, since the CEO didn't want to embrace technology, the chief operating officer didn't want to embrace technology. Now, coronavirus has made you embrace technology. It's not only you, it's everybody else. It's your grandmom that always thought that video call was for the devil. Everybody is now on technology. The question now is, how are you leveraging on it? If you're a doctor, realize that you can still be making your calls, but nobody wants to come to the hospital because they don't want coronavirus. Or can you be doing FaceTime with them and they pay you for that? Just find new ways to embrace technology. And the best way to do this is look at what other people in other countries are doing in your industries or even outside of your industry and see how you can borrow elements of that into our own industry. What we're doing, for example, right now is we're no longer doing just training courses, right? We're doing it's now bespoke executive coaching. That's what we're calling it now, bespoke executive coaching. So People call us, we sign up the same clients we had, but now they call us one-on-one privately and we talk them through it. Now it takes a lot more time, right? But that we were sure that we're not going back to just zero. So you need to find ways that you too can find, how can I use where I am now, as opposed to crying and complaining. No, get somebody to do you up a new WordPress account, right? And start selling something. You must sell. That's the cardinal rule in this thing. You must sell. Let the Igbo man blood in you start to come out with coronavirus, because it's not going anywhere soon. So thank you.
Amazing. Your last word was,
let the Igbo man blood in you start to come out with coronavirus, because this is not going anywhere. So embrace it.
Wow. Come on, everybody, can we say thank you, Ebuka Anichebe? Everybody type it. Thank you, Ebuka Anichebe.
Thank you very much.
Get back to find a way to sell. Find a way to sell. Find a way to sell. You know, turn your selling machine and use the internet. Use the internet to do that. You know, enough of saying, you know, I'm not the internet person. Forget it. I mean, many years ago, Bill Gates said it, that is either you are online or your business will cease to exist. People thought it was a joke, but we can see that that's the truth now. Those who decided not to put their business online are struggling. You know, we have Dr. Sekibo in the building. How are you, sir? We have an issue with your audio.
Can you hear me now?
Beautiful. We can hear you live and direct. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us. Your love for the youth is amazing. The last time I saw you was at the youth camp meeting in Winners Chapel, and you were also one of the guest speakers. You just love young people, and it's amazing to have you here. Come share on, even when Dr. Linus Okore told me your topic, I said, see the heart for SME, because I mean, young people are the ones who own SMEs. Anyway, thank you so much. We're glad, and thank you for coming, sir.
You're welcome, sir.
So the format is you're going to share your topic with us for about 10 minutes, and then we'll come back after that to take Q&A from all our audience. We're streaming on Instagram, Facebook, Periscope, across different platforms. So we only just have a few of our audience on this Zoom call. So we're going to see how we can take questions from all the various people across all platforms.
So how many minutes do I really have?
Mute ourselves. So 30 minutes for your talk, and then 30 minutes for questions. But then we'll take questions for 30 minutes. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, can we put that together for Dr. Ife Sekibo, the Group Managing Director of Heritage Bank PLC. Everybody, come on. Let's welcome him. I want to type across the comment section. Welcome, sir. Welcome, sir. Welcome, sir. Welcome. Yes, sir. You can go.
My topic today is essentially discussing converting your ideas, some people call it dreams, into realities, and my focus will be for SMEs. I will not want to push too much into trying to explain what SMEs are. Like you've mentioned, SMEs are essentially young men, young women, young businesses, smaller businesses that make our economy what it is today. If there is any sector of the economy, if there's no SME, that sector will not thrive, no matter what it is, be it oil and gas, be it banking, be it manufacturing, any sector you're talking about. If there's no SME, that sector will not thrive. Now, if then that is given, what are the issues? What are the things that could make these set of businesses go from where they are at, or essentially when they start dreaming, when one man start dreaming, when two people start dreaming together, when three people start dreaming together, how do they move from that point and make it a reality for themselves? I call it the passioning and the dreaming stage, you know. So the first question you want to ask, what really keeps the person awake at night? What's the purpose that the person wants to achieve? Is there a higher calling bigger than the individual or the individuals? Is this calling compelling? Will it be life-changing? Will it be innovative? Can we measure its adjustments? If all the answers to this are yes,